Yeah, you need an initial hole. I don't care if my pants get wet. Where's the lid?
Welcome into Keep It About Ball, bitch.
Just a splash.
Shitbag lizard people.
Bro's QB2 is Aiden O'Connell.
Fuck Sean Payton.
Actually, when you add up the pick value, when you crunch numbers, who the fuck's Jennifer?
Yeah, they're not popping up, so they might have to join before they can hop on. Bijan Robinson, the first pick of the draft. Not bad. Can't really go wrong there. About as safe as it gets. I wonder who it was between. Probably the next pick, Jahmyr Gibbs, that went number 2. It was probably between those two. Those two seem to be pretty consensus, top 1 and 2. Who do we got next? Jamar Chase, Puka, JSN. Oh, come on, what's taking so long? These early picks shouldn't take so long. These should be easy picks right here. Easy money. Like, it shouldn't be hard. JSN, Chase, you could even go Puka. It's not rocket appliances.
Very many moments later.
Gosh, really burning up all 2 minutes to make JSN. I'll have to send a thing. Alright, yeah, send a message to the league. Let's try and not make all picks take 2 minutes, because we're gonna be here for a while if we're taking 2 minutes to make picks this early in the draft. What is up, Kimberly? Alright, I'm going to assume you are probably someone that is in the league, so we will get you an invite. We'll get Lucas on here in a minute. I am on the clock. Let's see who's off the board so far. It is Bijan, Jahmyr, JSN, Jamar Chase, and Puka. Pretty standard, pretty consensus right there. Kind of gross after this. And I'm just going to go swing. No. I kind of want to go McCaffrey, but I'm a little scared about that. James Cook feels safe. I think I'm going to go James Cook. Because after that, it's be St. Brown or Lamb. I don't know if I want to go them quite this early. I don't really know if I wanted to go James Cook quite this early either. That feels a little gross, but I mean, you do what you got to do. I really don't like drafting in the middle of rounds. I'd prefer to have that double up or close to a double up, like with the 110, 111, or 112, or just pick at the top of the draft. But once you get in the middle, it's just kind of gross. Because then you got to make a weird decision like that after the top guys are off the board, and you got to decide like how to start the next tier of guys. And I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. All right. So next up to come off, CeeDee Lamb. Yep. I mean, you can't really go wrong there. He was definitely within my within my thought right there. Here, I'm gonna send Lucas an invite to speak since he hopped on first. If he wants to hop on, he can chat for a little bit. Oh, but before you do, Lucas, please, before you start, let me go grab my Bluetooth so that your voice isn't feeding back in. So, yeah, I should have plenty of time for my next pick. I will be right back. Get this one connected. Let's temporarily dip for a quick second. Should still be on audio at least. Okay. Bluetooth. Listen, if you don't want to, you don't have to either. Okay, so while I was gone, Christian McCaffrey came off the board. Okay, solid pick. You can't really go wrong there. It's being weird. So Josh Allen goes off the board in the first round. The team goes to auto draft. I'm guessing they did not make their picks. I wasn't paying close enough attention to the clock. That's too bad if that's the case. Amon-Ra St. Brown goes off the board to Lucas. Yeah, I mean, honestly, pretty good value right there. 110 on St. Brown. You can't really go wrong there. Cannot go wrong with St. Brown at 110. Honestly, probably who I should have gone at 1.6 if we're being honest, over James Cook. But I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to be a good year for running backs this year, even though there are so many in timeshares. Though it could just be a gross year for fantasy if you think about it. pretty gross year. Uh, Not as many receivers on the field with all the tight end sets, and a lot of running and you like okay, a lot of run game, cool. But then like everyone's in a committee, and then it's like cool. Well, there's more tight end action. It's like no, I mean there's still only a few dudes that are good, and then it's just kind of ass. And even some of the dudes that are good are like they're not that great for fantasy. It's I don't know. It could shape up to be kind of an ugly year for fantasy though. I don't know. Maybe have good quarterback play. I could see that. Some efficient. Oh my gosh, another guy dragging out time clock. Kenneth Walker. All right, there we go. All right, so Kenneth Walker goes 111 in Kansas City. Yeah, Brady sent me a private message. We may be here for a while, boys. And yeah, he's not wrong. What's up, dude?
What's going on?
How are you?
Doing good yourself?
Not too bad. Living the dream.
Right on. Was
So,
it going as you expected so far?
the first few picks, yeah, I would say so. Honestly, I mean, yeah, for all the picks, I would say it's going like fairly standard. I would say just going really slow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So,
Well,
go ahead.
yeah. My mindset on what I did was just there weren't going to be too many great receivers left when it got back to me, but it looked like running back had a little more depth.
Yeah, three of them have
But
come off
now
the
I'm like,
board though.
I know I was hoping Genty or Walker would make it back to me. I don't know how I feel about Walker yet, but I really don't know how I feel about Achane this year.
Yeah, same. I honestly have want zero part of HN. Zero part of
Yeah.
HN. It's just Miami feels kind of gross. I have Malik Washington in my home dynasty, and I
Yeah.
pretty much only keeping him because he also returns kicks, and we count that in that league, so it makes me kind of
Yeah, I
worth it.
gotcha.
But other than that, it's kind of gross down there. Him and Jalen Tolbert. Who'd they draft? Did they draft Malachi Fields? No, that's the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
So now I'm like, do I do Hampton, go for maybe
okay.
Jeremiah Love, or I feel like maybe Drake London
Drake London would
because
be a
it's
good
hard.
pick right here, probably.
Yeah, I think I like him more than those running backs. Then I'll just hope to. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. Um, I don't play a lot of best ball, so I don't know when the right time to take a quarterback is. I just know in best ball the onesie positions can be super important.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I think everyone's going to be a little thin at quarterback because this team on auto draft now has Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Oh God,
And
a
then
guy in my dynasty league has that stack.
in a dynasty league, that's incredible.
He hasn't made it to the championship yet. He's got a great team. Like I don't know if you guys ever like look at like Flock Fantasy's value stuff.
I watch Flock from time to time.
Yeah. So like you can put your whole league in there and it'll show values of team. You know,
Okay.
certain positions, of course, are just more valuable than others. And
Right.
his team is leagues above the rest of our league, and he just falls short in the playoffs every year.
Yeah, that the guy that joined Sydney Sweeney's Peak, AB, the other day,
Mm-hmm.
he's from our home dynasty league, and he had a pretty similar thing. Like I remember the first couple years, I plugged our league into a few of those, like kind of like simulators, whatever, that kind of ranks everyone's teams. And I know Reed did too. And every time all of us did, AB was ahead by a pretty good margin, but he just kept losing in the championship every year or getting third place, like second or third every time. And
Yep.
it's the way it normally goes with those loaded teams.
Oh yeah. I have like such a good my other dynasty league mimics our other one so much because I have all these good positional players and then I have a ton of wide receiver twos. I don't have like a one, it feels like. I have like Rashee Rice and Lad McConkey and Devonta Smith and like my other one. And T. Higgins can feel elite if Burrow's healthy and playing
Yeah.
outside of September.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty hopeful on T Higgins this year. I hope they're slinging that thing. I just traded for him to stack with Burrow, and
Mm.
I need that. I need that to go well. I'm coming off a championship. I'm trying to go back to back. So
Heck yeah. Yeah. Last year I came in last place and I had just won the championship the year prior. But
God.
the start that I had with like Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Lad McConkey, those guys were carrying me,
Hmm.
and the final, the previous season and that slow start, I just was 0-5 before I could blink. I'm like, what is going on? Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels are my quarterback stack, which I thought was great. So, but not having Jaden Daniels almost all year was horrible.
Yeah, yeah, that screwed a lot of people in a lot of leagues. Catch up real quick. So after Lucas took Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kenneth Walker, Jonathan Taylor, Ashton Genty, Justin Jefferson, Drake London at Lucas again. And then the guy gets Lamar Jackson. He just joined the draft, so I'm sure he's looking at his team now and thinking, wow. Uh, and then after Lamar went Nico Collins, Malik Neighbors. Then I took Trey McBride. Then Reed took Devon Achan. Chris Olave goes off the board. Then Drake May and Saquon Barkley just goes off the board and puts Brady back on. Finally to the end of the second round. Gosh, I'm glad we didn't add too many bench spots for that one guy, or otherwise we'd be here for a long time tonight. Brady takes George Pickens and Jeremiah Love back to back. So his three to start is Bijan, George Pickens, and Jeremiah Love. Not too bad. I think I like that start.
Yeah, I got high hopes for Pickens this year.
Me too. Everyone in Dallas, really.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm drinking the Dallas Kool-Aid already. I know it's normally I wait until close to the season or I let them have one or two good games before I'm like, dang, Dallas might be good this year. I'm accepting it early this year and I'm off season the whole time. I'm just like, Dallas might be good this year. Just leaning into it.
Man, being a Philly fan, I just can't.
Yeah, yeah. I do forget you're a Philly
I
fan.
think
Yeah.
I've just watched the crash. I really like Dak Prescott as a quarterback a lot. Like I think he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't know, man. Jerry Jones cursed him all those years ago when he said, "Give me one more championship, and I don't need another one."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know, but I kind of like he got a lot of shit for the Micah Parsons trade, but I think the way it's kind of coming around, I think it's kind of worked out for him. So they got Quinnen Williams, and they just drafted Caleb Banks. I think was that with the pick they got from Green Bay?
Um,
I'm
I
not sure
don't
if that was
know.
that pick or not,
I
so I don't
think
want
they
to
had
speak for
accrued a
sure.
few. They had a couple picks, right? 2 or 3
Right.
initially, and then they traded one of them
Oh
to the
yeah.
Jets.
Oh man,
And
the guy that
like,
drafted the quarterbacks just left the league. The auto drafted the quarterbacks left. So that's going to be an auto
man,
draft the rest of the time.
well, it'll be fast.
Yeah, yeah, one person. Although we're probably going to be at have to wait on it at least one time, I would imagine.
So, what do we think? Do we think that AJ Brown is a Patriot, a Ram, or an Eagle at the start of the season?
That's a great question. Um,
Because I think it's one of those three. The Rams didn't take Makai Lemon, which I understand their pick with Ty Simpson. I get it. But like they were one of the other teams that were on the phone about with AJ, or about AJ. And
right. Yeah, I'm always really skeptical about these uh placeholder kind of trades, like oh,
mm-hmm.
we've made this deal for a later date. 'Cause I mean, just look at
Yeah.
what happened with Max Crosby this offseason. I mean, that kind of deal. I mean, something like that can always happen. They could get a better offer. So I don't know if I think he's a Patriot for sure. It would be cool. It would definitely be cool. I don't know if we would
Yeah.
necessarily need him though. I feel like adding Romeo Dobbs, we added offensive line, continued to add D line to our pass rush, which was a problem last year. Our run defense was fine. We've got a good secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Our secondary is low key, kind of loaded. And yeah, I feel pretty good. Ooh, thank you, Wellington, for letting me know I'm on the clock. I was over here yapping and talking. My bad. I'll just make a quick pick. We'll go Chase Brown. I feel safe.
Ah.
Did I snipe you?
You know, I really just like Cincinnati's offense now that they locked in having Flacco as a backup. I feel like it's okay to take a gamble on the guys that aren't Jamar Chase now.
Yes. Yes, I agree. I went and traded for Flacco in that same league that I have the Higgins and Burrow stack because I was like, you know what? I feel that's a backup I feel good about that like, okay, I'm gonna go get him so that if Burrow falls, something happens again, I got some insulation. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, obviously I hope that doesn't happen, but you know, I yeah, good handcuff situation, I think.
Mhm.
So let's catch up on these picks.
Oh man, he's going to keep getting quarterbacks, right? Or will it fill the other positions?
I have no clue. It may take another quarterback right here, is what I'm thinking.
Because the next like 12 picks ADP are quarterbacks.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I saw that. ADP's very dynasty driven right now, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that time of year.
I don't. I get the top 4 guys, but like having Dart and Herbert all the way above all those other players. Okay, so now we know.
Okay.
So AJ was going to be my possible pick with him still being here, but I need receiver or a running back, but I don't know, man. I feel so good about Higgins. So what are the positions? 2 wide receivers,
Yeah,
2
it's it's
running
it's
backs,
all
and a
pretty
flex.
standard. Nothing crazy. You're looking at like
Okay.
Rasheed Rice, Bucky
I think
Irving, Henry, T.
I think
Higgins, Brees.
I think Derrick Henry falling at the end of the third could be gold. I don't really know how their O line's going to be this year, but dude, how do you not bet? How do you bet against him? He keeps doing it.
Right,
He didn't look like he was slowing down last year.
right. Yeah,
I don't like Bucky. I'm not a
me
fan of
either.
Bucky
Me
after
either.
that first year fall off.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Brees Hall,
I think he,
no.
I think Bucky Irving is the prototypical like NFL running back comes in, has a nice first year, and then just disappears into nothingdom for like the rest of his
Yep.
career. Especially they bring
I
in
mean, he was a
Gainwell off a really good year, and Gainwell's the kind of
oh
guy you
yeah.
want on the field on like third down and like passing situations. And just, I don't really know what that leaves for a Bucky because Sean Tucker's still there, and he's going to get at least a few touches a game too. I would not feel good as a Bucky owner right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's small. Like they were worried about injury. He really wasn't like nobody was really super excited about him like in rookie drafts. And I think he just kind of like he had that like Tyrone Tracy-esque season.
Hmm.
Tracy wasn't nearly as impressive as Bucky, but at the same time, the Giants weren't nearly as impressive as Tampa Bay that year.
Right. Yeah, that's actually not a bad comparison. Um,
Yeah, it's
we
just one
kind of
of those
slept on
things,
Tyrone
Look
Tracy's
at
little
Pacheco.
year. Especially because he came on that first year. It was like the second half of the year, or well, I think it was like week 4 or 5 when Singletary got hurt, and Tracy came in and
Yeah,
he balled out.
I mean, Tracy. I won a championship, and Tracy helped me get there.
I
Like he
believe
was
it.
good in the playoffs.
I believe it. I think that was the year we started our dynasty, and I went from being like bottom of the pack like early to start the year, and I ended up finishing third. Um, and he was definitely a big part of that too. I got Trey McBride
Yeah.
off the waiver wire in that league too. Kyron Williams off the waiver wire in that league.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was the year they broke out though. I mean, before that, Kyron Williams was
Yeah.
like a nothing, 6th round pick that no one had ever heard of, and he had one good
That's
week.
another thing too, man. I would love for Kyron to make it back to me, but I feel like Blake Corum's finally started taking some snaps, and like if with Devontae still being there, I feel like they're still going to be passing in the red zone more than they used to. It's going to be like last year.
Yeah, I think LA's offense probably looks pretty similar for most of the year, and then
Yeah, and
towards the end
the
of the
biggest
year,
thing with Kyron is stability. Like I feel like he's one of the more stable running backs to have on your roster. He doesn't get hurt. He's guaranteed to have 16 plus carries a game. It seems like.
Yeah, he's involved in the passing game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I traded for T. Higgins. How would you grade that trade?
I would take T. Higgins over Kyron myself because I don't think Kyron outlived. I don't think he sees his whole contract with
Hmm.
LA.
Yeah.
I think that you have to be really special as a running back to be a 8-year relevant player. And he's on what, 5 relevant years? 4 relevant years?
Kyron, I think this will upcoming will be his fourth
Okay.
relevant year.
So this actually played out really, really nice for me
Yeah, it
because
did.
I can get T. Higgins right here
Hmm.
or Kyron, and I think T. Higgins is going to outscore Kyron if he stays healthy. And he did last year. I know he had some concussions, but we didn't have any soft tissue injuries last year, and he got paid. So maybe that's why he was a little beat up sometimes. But I think Jalen Hurts is also a good pick here.
Yeah, it is
I,
round
I think
four,
he's going to have a step up. I really do think that
and there's limited
KP,
quarterbacks
like, dude,
available.
I'm an Eagles fan. I was devastated. I know what Hurts can do. I've seen him do more than what he did last year.
Oh yeah,
Dude's going to, if he has AJ, Devontae, and Makai Lemon,
yeah.
but
I,
dude,
I
how
I
do you
think the
pass
Eagles'
up on T.
offense is
Higgins?
going to be really. I'm buying all Eagles this year. Saquon, the receivers, Jalen. I've always been a Jalen truther. I don't. A lot of people are always trying to sell him and use him to get a
Yeah.
different piece, and I'm like, why, dude? That's like one of the most stable dynasty assets you can have, in my opinion. I don't understand everyone. Who doesn't throw over the middle of
You're
the field? I'm like, I don't care. He rushes for like 10 touchdowns, 12 touchdowns a year, you know, maybe more.
You're right, man. You just convinced me to keep loving on my boy, and I feel like by the time it gets back to me, that you might see more quarterbacks off the board, and you're
Exactly.
going to be
Yeah,
in
because
with.
we're five have already come off the board just before that. So I mean, and we're in round four, and five are already off the board. So I definitely think that's a smart pick. I I had added him to my queue. I talked myself into him. I was gonna take him probably if you didn't. So I will
Yeah, it's just
probably.
hard. I haven't taken a onesie position yet, and I feel like I needed to get in on it because I feel like that could be a difference maker just from what I've heard over the years.
Yeah. So
But I
Kyron and
also am
Colston
trying
go
to
off the
decide where I
board
can get.
after Jalen, and that leaves. So on the board right now, according to Sleeper ADP, which is like we said earlier, a little dynastyified right now. Um, it's Jackson Dart, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, Bo Nix, Brock Purdy, Mendoza, Prescott. Then you get T. Higgins, Brees Hall, Jordan Love, Burden, who I like this year, Travis Etienne, Javante, Waddle, kind of into that range. With no Hurts here, I don't really know if I do want to go with these quarterbacks in round four. I've never been a big Herbert guy. I Dart, I feel like probably going to get hurt again, to be totally honest, or just I don't know, fall off a cliff. I don't know. I don't really buy Dart, and then I don't really think the rest are quite worth it this early. I always like to go quarterback late too, so I think it's kind of between like T Higgins and Luther Burden for me right here. I think I'll go T, although I really like Luther this year. I really like Luther Burden.
I like Luther, but
What
I
do you
like
think of
T more.
Chicago's offense this year?
Call me biased because of our dynasty league, but after watching the back end of that season where Colston Loveland broke out, I think he looked like the most dynamic player that they had on offense.
I mean that I'm not going to argue with that. If you're saying like most dynamic, yeah, that's that's probably a good take.
I just think that Caleb he's a guy who possesses a lot of talent that he can't control sometimes.
Hmm.
Loveland is a big tight end. A lot of tight ends are smaller anymore than they used to be, and I think he's like 6'6", right? Let me
I'm
look.
not sure. Yeah,
Six
but
six,
yeah, that's a
240,
big boy.
and I think he's a reliable target. I think that Luther Burden will definitely have a good season, but I feel like if they're going to get Rome Odunze back on the track, back on track, he's going to have to become a a bigger focus for the team. And I might be wrong. Luther Burden might be, Luther Burden. I remember being, this guy could be a first round pick if certain things went a certain way, and there was some weird stuff going on before the draft that he kind of fell, but the talent was always there to be. And I haven't been impressed by Rome Odunze, so
Yeah, me either. I've never been a big Rome guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if Luther takes over this year, it just might not happen right away. I feel like at the start of the season,
Yeah, that's fair.
you're going to have Rome Odunze. I think Swift leaving is a big deal for Luther, and I think we could
DeAndre
see him
Swift left?
Yeah, he went to the Bills for a lot. Or not Swift. I meant
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
I was like,
DJ
what?
Moore, not
When did that happen?
My bad.
No,
I was
you're
mixing
good.
up names.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's like 6 targets a game right there.
But my thing is, when it comes to Cincinnati, it's T and it's Chase, and a lot of Joe Burrow throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like you can't go wrong with T. I mean, it's going to suck when he's hurt,
Yeah.
but I don't see
I like how you
weeks where
said
he's
when.
not. Yeah, but when he's playing, I don't see many weeks where he's not going to be part of your roster that's selected for points.
All right. Well, I'm gonna run through these teams real quick and go through everyone's pick through the first 4 rounds, and then you can stay on. Kimberly's been in here, and I'm guessing that is Diet Coke for Life who we're drafting with. So we'll send her
Yeah,
an invite to
chat.
chat if she
Anytime you
wants
get
to talk about her draft with us as well. But so far, out of the 112 position through 4 rounds. Jay Doggy drafted Jonathan Taylor, Ashton Genty, Rasheed Rice, and Garrett Wilson. I don't know how I feel about that one. Anna, I don't know how to pronounce the rest of the name. Drafted Kenneth Walker, Jefferson, Bucky Irving, and Tyler Warren. I kind of like that. Besides Bucky, I feel like that's a fairly solid start. And then Lucas, who you were listening to, drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Derrick Henry, and Jalen Hurts. What turned into an auto drafted team and is now a vacant team, took Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, AJ Brown, and Kyron. Um, Somehow, actually, still maybe not the worst start we've seen so far. Diet Coke for Life took Christian McCaffrey, Nico Collins, Joe Burrow, and Colston Loveland. That feels like a very safe one. Got one of each, like one good player at each position, so that's not a bad start. Levy took CD Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, and Caleb Williams. I like that start a lot. Even if Malik's hurt to start the year or needs a couple weeks to come in. And then in the 6th spot, I took James Cook, Trey McBride, Chase Brown, and T. Higgins. Reed took Puka Nakua, Devon Achane, O'Marion Hampton, and Justin Herbert. FL Wellington took Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, Jaden Daniels, and Brees Hall. Crim de la something, I'm not sure what the rest of his name is, took JSN, Drake May, Josh Jacobs, and Travis Etienne. That feels like a pretty safe team right there with a ton of upside. And then Thunder Lips took Jameer Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Tedero McMillan, Javante Williams, and they just made their 5th pick, which was Devontae Adams. Brady started his first 5 with Bijan, George Pickens, Jeremiah Love, Luther Burden, and Harold Fannin. All right, I'm gonna get this invite to Kimberly on here, and we'll get Brady invited. Brady, I'm inviting you on. We're gonna let Kimberly, if she decides to come on, kind of rock and talk about her draft for a minute because she's been listening to me and Lucas go for a while now. So we'll give her a chance to talk. But you can go ahead and hop on if you want. And let's see. So after the Devontae Adams pick for Thunder Lips, the 5th round continued with Jalen Waddle, Cam Scatabo, and Lad McConkey. I am on the clock. Who do I got in the queue? I got Zay Flowers. That's the wrong Jay Williams. Trevian Henderson and Devontae Smith. I don't remember adding any of those guys to my queue, to be totally honest. I mean, some of the quarterback value is okay here. I still don't want to draft a quarterback here though. I think I'm gonna go Devontae Smith because he's actually gonna have, I think, a really good year, especially if AJ Brown does leave. I know I said earlier I'm a little skeptical on these kind of in theory trades until they happen, but it seems like it's going to happen like he's going somewhere. And I think if that happens, Devontae's pretty locked in. Everything I've heard um, from like insiders like that I listen to, probably some of the same ones you listen to as well. And just talking about it, there's a lot of people in the Eagles organization really high on Devontae Smith right now, and think he's got everything that the skill set and the like the traits to be like a. I think they said like have what I heard was this is what the Eagles think is like maybe take like a JSN kind of leap this year. And I'm not saying I think that's going to happen, but I definitely think a leap. He's probably going to get like 8 to 10 targets a game, and that's going to be hard to argue with. I don't care if it's over the middle of the field or not. I think him and Jalen Hurts can get it figured out. I think that offense is going to be pretty good this year too. So um, I feel pretty good about that. Trevian Henderson goes after that. Then goes Jackson Dart, and Zay Flowers. Lucas is back on the clock. Brady, where you at, Brain? So let's see who's on the board here. By sleeper 80 ADP currently got Mahomes, Lawrence, Nix, Purdy, Mendoza, Prescott, Love, Mayfield, Goff, Jameson Williams is mixed in there. I don't gross to me, honestly. RJ Harvey, DJ Moore, also gross. Uh Tootin. We're kind of just starting getting that gross range right here. There are some guys available, no doubt, but starting to get gross. Brady, what are you thinking about your draft so far, man? Oh, and are you on Bluetooth, by the way? In your ear, make sure you're on that before you start going. Actually, you should be good. You should be good. Maybe. I don't know. Probably better safe than sorry. And there goes Jameson Williams off the board. Just after Emeka Ibuka and Terry McLaurin. And J Dog is about to double up Jameson Williams with someone else here out of the 12 hole. Mike Evans. Okay, yeah. I like that. Not going by the ADP and going for the best player. I think that was right there, or at least one of them, no doubt. That was a good pick. That was a good pick. DJ Moore, gross. Brady, are you there? I kind of want you to defend DJ Moore a little bit because I think that dude is going to be cheeks this year. And Jordan Tyson comes off the board to Lucas. Facial Tootin is auto drafted. We got Diet Coke back on the board. So far, that team's looking like Christian McCaffrey, Nico Collins, Joe Burrow, Colston Loveland, and Jackson Dart. So I would guess probably not a quarterback right here. Probably feeling pretty good about that. I mean, it's actually a really great quarterback room, especially for a best ball scenario. Uh, Joe Burrow's going to be your high up, just kind of high floor guy most of the time, and then Jackson Dark Spike Week. Gosh, I cannot get his name right. Jackson Darts Spike Weeks. Uh, kind of, some weeks might win you a week and surpass, Burrow right there. I guess it is super flex too. I should consider that. So yeah, that is actually probably a pretty good start right there for a quarterback room. It is super flex, right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if I might have taken a quarterback sooner, but even still, probably not. Probably not. Rachel Tootin, Tucker Craft. I said Jackson Dart came after that, but she had already. Okay, no, she took Tucker Craft. I was talking about her team. Okay, and then she took Tucker Craft. Okay, okay. Definitely got tight end and quarterback locked up right there. And I understand not wanting to go wide receiver or running back right here. It is pretty gross at the moment. It is pretty gross. All right, David Montgomery goes off the board. Sorry, we're trying to get Brady in here. Had him join, but of course, Twitter's being a bitch and I'm not getting any sound from him. David Montgomery comes off the board. It's kind of gross right here. Uh, I would say right here it's between Swift and Jedkins for me. I'm gonna go Jedkins just because I think he has less competition. Although you could have easily talked me into Swift. I think I could have easily been swayed into that just because he's gonna be on the better offense. Uh, but Manon guy's there, and they're probably gonna throw the ball a little more. So I don't know. Brodus, no dice, no dice. Uh, yeah, no, it shouldn't be muted. Let me click on you here. I'll send you the co-host invite. Maybe that will help. Otherwise, I don't know what it could be. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, hopefully we can get Brady on here. After I take Quinshon Judkins, Reed takes Brock Purdy, kind of secures up his quarterback room with Herbert and Purdy. Then Sam Laporta and Kyle Pitts go off the board. Kind of a bit of a, oh no, I guess not really a tight end run. Rome Odunze goes to Thunder Lips, and Brady is on the board with the last pick of the 6th round. And his team so far is Bijan, Pickens, Love, Burden, Fannin. Not bad. I think the running back duo should be pretty good. I heard a lot about Jeremiah Love, not having, maybe as big of a workload as a lot of, like top running back prospects. And that maybe worries me a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, I don't watch college football. I wait until, fantasy season comes around and I start learning about these guys then. And yeah, so I'm not gonna act like I know a ton about him. I'll learn more about him as off season continues to go and as the season arrives. Uh, he takes Carnell Tate. Okay, so his receiving room: Pickens, Burden, and Tate. I think I like that. Gosh, the Tennessee offense. I don't know if I want to buy it yet. Like I definitely I see the like the avenue to them being good. But I just don't know if I just don't know if that's the avenue they're gonna take. I think they might take the side street, you know what I'm saying? The back alley and uh maybe run into some bad folks along the way. Maybe like a trailer park kind of alley, maybe they run into someone selling some meth or something. I don't know, and it just kind of derails their life or like their season type deal, Uh, you know, like trying to think of a good acronym. Um, or metaphor. And I guess it wouldn't be an acronym, it'd be a metaphor or simile, and I can't think of one right now, but I think you get what I'm saying. Uh, yeah, I they're like the kid that's born with all the things they need to survive, but it's born into the crack house, and so it like I don't know, and just never gets on the right path. I kind of feel like that's the Titans right now, just like you got like the dad in the room, like Cam Ward last year talking about we ass, we suck, blah blah blah, we cheats. Like that's some tough love. Not everyone responds to that real well. So I don't know. But I'm just rambling nonsense at this point. After Carnell Tate, Brady takes Dak Prescott, Marvin Harrison, Trevor Lawrence, and Sam Darnold, and that puts Reed on the clock. And I will be following Reed. I think it's probably about time. I probably should take a quarterback. I really don't want to. Pat Mahomes is still right there. Bo Nix. I mean, there's Jordan Love. There's still some good options. Jared Goff. I'm not interested in Baker. Mendoza's up here in ADP, but obviously I'm not drafting him this early. And then after that, it's Cam Ward, aforementioned. CJ Stroud, who I've defended for a while, but I don't really know if I can. I don't think I can. I don't want to place any bets on it this year. I'm kind of getting sketchy on him. So I don't know. I hope he proves me wrong because I've been a believer, and it would be nice to be able to rub that in Brady's face if he was good. So hopefully. All right, Reed goes Oronde Gadsden, of course. That is his guy. And like I said, probably about time to go quarterback. Kind of want to go Mahomes. It would be a crazy good value, especially late in the year, getting him in round 7. But then there's Jordan. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go Mahomes. I'm gonna go Mahomes. Yeah. Let's see. After I take Mahomes, Matthew Stafford. Wow, Stafford really. Wow, he really dug deep for that one because Stafford was below like Tyler Shook. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. At least there was at least 8 quarterbacks ahead of Stafford right now. I think Kyler and Bryce might have even. No, okay, yeah. So I mean, Stafford's kind of at the bottom right now. I feel like it's a bit of a reach, and it's definitely someone I wanted to get late in the draft too. So that changes things for me a lot, a lot. Stafford is definitely a late round pick. I like to try and get this year, so that is that really soils my plans. Okay, so I would have felt really good with like Pat Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, and maybe like one of these other like maybe I get like C.J. Stroud or like Bryce Young, maybe Malik Willis, kind of maybe like a kind of guy, a Kyler late round. Oh man, so I'm definitely. Oh, and there goes Tyler Shook. I'm gonna have to take another quarterback right here. So after I take Mahomes, goes Matthew Stafford, DeAndre Swift, who is another player I really wanted, R.J. Harvey, Jadarian Price, and Tyler Shook. Um, Again, Tyler Shook was at the bottom, like kind of yeah. But I mean, you got to go get your guy, and I guess I actually kind of like that. We're drafting with people that don't just go by ADP. I think that's really good. There's been a lot of that this draft, people not using ADP and just going and getting their guy at a good value, and I think that's good. I think that's good. Because like we said, this ADP here is very dynastified. Brady?
Can you hear me?
Yes, let's go.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Sweet.
Finally got it figured out.
Cool. Yeah. So I guess while we're waiting on J Doggy to make his pick and we'll let it come back around.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what you would you agree that this ADP we're looking at on here is very dynasty draft driven? Just with all the quarterbacks so high.
Yeah, I would say because when I was saying like you should like when I had the first overall pick, I said Josh Allen should be selected first overall. I'm like, well,
Right.
yeah, probably in a dynasty, but I'm taking him right now. And I really didn't and they're not, amped up scoring either. So it's just no, you don't reach for a quarterback. So it's definitely dynasty versus ADP. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. But yeah, that guy auto drafting Josh Allen and Lamar really kind of put this quarterback situation into it. I was just talking as soon as I took Pat
Yeah.
Mahomes, Matt Stafford went off the board. And I really wanted Matt Stafford late in the draft. Matt Stafford's one of my favorite late round picks this year.
Yeah, I kind of see when Purdy went in the 6th round. I was like, well, I think there's going to start to be a run on quarterback, so I better get one. Sure enough,
Yeah, that's where I was when I took Mahomes. I was like, I need quarterbacks. They're all coming off the board, and now there's even more coming off the board because Stafford, Shook, and Love come off the board. Now I'm looking at like Knicks, Baker, Goff. I mean, which I would be okay with one of those guys if they make it to me. But after that, I'm looking at Cam Ward or C.J. Stroud, maybe Kyler.
Yeah. Gosh,
which I love
pick
Kyler.
the litter there.
Yeah.
Malik Willis, I could talk myself into, but
not this early.
Not this early,
still,
but
I think
as far as like
even in this draft, want to wait till like round 10.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I probably need what?
Probably need a running back coming up. Really, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like how the board
being a rookie and all.
Yeah, I don't like the way the board fell because quarterback went like back to back, and then I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It just I don't also care for having the 1-on-1 either, but it is what it is. So you make do with what you have, and I like the
Right.
to backs on the wraparound, but God, you don't really like the pick of the litter running back right now either. Fuck.
Fuck. There
Yeah,
goes Knicks.
there's a couple. You know, KBD is probably gonna be otherwise they're gonna be gone. I think everyone's making sure they have. Well, shit, some 3 already. Diet Coke. That was his third. We'll see if.
Yeah, well, I mean, for her, Diet Coke's a go. I think I think that's a really
Okay.
nice quarterback room right there. Burrow, Dart, and Nix. I mean, especially in a super flex league, they're never gonna. I don't think she's gonna have like a bad week out of her quarterback in super flex spot.
Yeah, I would probably start Dart over.
Well, you know, it's
Others.
best ball, so you don't
That's
start
not a
them.
good.
It starts whoever scores the most points.
So it probably just work itself out. I think Dart has more rushing upside, so Dart, he doesn't ram his head to the fucking wall every week. He should be a pretty good scorer. I don't know how maybe past fantasy value he's going to be good, but should be.
All right, Levy's is on the clock. So after I took Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, DeAndre Swift, RJ Harvey, Jadarian Price, Tyler Shook, Jordan Love, Christian Watson, Jacoby Myers, Jared Goff, Jalen Warren, Bo Nix, Michael Wilson just went, and I do still probably need another quarterback. So, uh, gosh, they took all the ones I wanted and left me with Baker, Cam Ward, CJ Stroud, and Kyler. And I love Kyler, and I think he's probably in the best situation here. No, CJ Stroud's probably in the best situation, but I don't want to go down on
Uh,
the ship defending him. So
the later
uh,
I'd probably go Baker first. But yeah,
I'm not buying Baker this year personally. I'm gonna go Kyler. I'm not a Baker guy this year. I think I think he's probably at the tail end of his career right now.
I think he's falling off.
Yeah, just because like good QBs, like the really good ones, they play till they're, like 36, 40. He's been had a year as like a or two as like a good quarterback, but all in all, is gonna go down as not a bad quarterback, but probably not like a great quarterback, or they're just gonna be kind of an average, above average quarterback. And those guys normally kind of start to fizzle out, like 31, 32, 33. Mike Evans just left, who's been, old reliable in Tampa Bay. Now it's a bunch of young guys. I mean, we saw a step back for him in
He's got young.
production just from Liam Cohen going down or leaving in one season. And then now it's just kind of revamping, and I don't know. Tampa Bay feels kind of gross to me this year. All right. Yeah. So after I take Kyler, Jordan Addison goes off the board to Reed. He gets his guy right there. Makai Lemon goes to FL Wellington. And Creme de la Creme 25 is on the board. Okay. Yeah, we were getting a lot of feedback on there. A lot of shit going on. Oh, it was dipping and out.
Driving on Tyler Baker selection. Yeah, splitting hairs there. I mean, Baker has young weapons to throw to, but Kyler isn't the best.
Wait, you said Baker has the weapons to throw to?
I mean, he's got what Ibuka. He's got McMillan.
Oh, give me Kyler's weapons every day of the week.
Well, no, I'm not.
What?
I'm not arguing the weapons. I'm just saying, like, you're kind of splitting hairs because you don't know what Kyler's offensive fit is going to be in KOCs. That's a huge question mark.
Okay,
At least you
okay,
know.
okay.
At least you know Baker's like been in this offense for what 3 years now. Kyler, man, dude,
No,
I'm not. I'm
he's
not saying
no, it's a
it's a
different
non.
offense. Liam
It's a
Cohen
non.
left. It's a new offense since last year.
I get
And
that.
last year and it was a new offense and he took a step back from where he was with Liam Cohen.
Well, I'm just trying to make the argument, and I'm as big Kyler fan as anybody, but with being a Vikings fan and Kyler's style and KOC style, that's a big question mark coming into the off season or the season, whether that's even going to work. I'll say it's a non-zero chance that he doesn't get traded before the year.
I mean, that's fine as long as he goes somewhere to start.
Right. It's
I don't
just
think anyone's trading for him to be a backup.
probably not unless he absolutely just gets beat out, which I don't think is going to happen. But like just the fit. I mean, I'm optimistic, but just if you were just splitting hairs and like trying to decide, like Baker, Kyler, I would choose Kyler's weapons, no doubt. But yeah, I mean, I would have taken Kyler too, though. I mean, I would have took the risk. But
Yeah, I think his upside probably
yeah,
a bit higher too.
you kind of know what you're getting with Baker, which is awful, but what you could get with. Oh shit, what was Baker? I'd probably take Cam Ward over Stroud for sure. That's
Oh, well, I know you will. Yeah, you'll take just about anybody over Stroud.
Ty Simpson right now. Thank you. Okay, we have running backs. Yeah. Load. Therefore, I'm gonna reach. I think back here.
Hey, or if you might go closer to your router because you're cutting out real bad. I didn't hear any of that.
I'm right next to it.
Oh,
I'm right next to it. Yeah, what's going on tonight? I'm gonna check my QB as well.
Cam Ward. All right. So after Makai Lemon and Jordan Addison goes Brian Thomas, then Baker, then Brady takes Chuba Hubbard and Cam Ward. Thunder Lips is now in the clock in the 9th round. What a long draft. This has been an hour already, and we're in the oh my gosh. I might change the
Yeah, we're in
I'm
for
gonna
the long.
change I'm changing the settings after this pick to go to a minute
Okay.
here, or at least a
Probably a
minute
good
and a
idea.
half.
I don't know, man. Like at this point, do you really need to think about it that
That's what
hard?
I'm saying. Like, just yeah, like what are we waiting on here? Like the player pool is the low end quarterbacks: Cortland Sutton, Metcalf, Stevenson, Monongai, Dalton Kincaid, Tony Pollard, Rico Dowdle. Like,
I
what are
mean,
we
those
doing here?
are all split carried backs right there.
Right. I'm saying it's just like just go
If you just
pick somebody.
take one. Honestly, right now, if I was to pick a running back, it'd probably be Monungai
Yeah.
in that offense. Oh, Stevenson's not a bad option either. I mean, with his receiving upside.
Alec Pierce and Cortland Sutton go off the board after Cam Ward. FL Wellington is on the clock. Let's see what's my team looking like right here. So far on my team, I'm looking at Pat Mahomes, Chase Brown, James Cook, T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, Trey McBride, Judkins, and Kyler.
Yeah.
Definitely like another receiver sometime soon. Another
You
quarterback
think
maybe.
Pats could be back week 1?
No, probably not. But that's
I heard he might be ready for OTAs, but that's
I've heard
crazy
that
to me.
too. I'm not banking on it though. You hear stuff
I
every
don't think they
year.
should rush it.
Yeah, they've got no point. And
Right.
plus, they just signed an elite backup in Justin Fields, who's about to regain all of his dynasty value thanks to Andy Reid, and I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
speaking it
he's gonna
into
maybe
existence.
start
I'm
on the.
manifesting it.
Well, if he was gonna succeed in any situation, it would be Kansas City. So
Yeah.
Kenyon Sadiq. Okay.
All right. Come on, Reed. Then Ramondre.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
okay.
So I really don't want DK. I would have liked Sutton right here, but he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't feel like I can justify drafting any of these receivers other than DK. I mean, I could justify drafting DK right here, but I don't want to. I think I'm gonna go. Actually, you know what? While there's still quarterbacks available, I think I'm gonna go Malik Willis and just get my upside quarterback. I feel like I got a couple of guys with decent floors, and then Malik can just have some. Well,
QB.
I guess that's really just Mahomes. Yeah, in a best ball
Very.
super flex league, yeah, I think it makes sense because Pat Mahomes probably gonna have a pretty safe floor each week, but Kyler's probably gonna have some down weeks, and those weeks, hopefully, Malik Willis has a spike week. And you got to remember, it's not you don't got to worry about starting these guys. It's the app is gonna automatically start whoever scores the most points each week. So you just get whoever scores the most points is whoever starts on your team.
Yeah.
I feel like between those
I'm
three, I'll get a couple of good spots out of there. So
I'm high on Malik.
I
I think you can see with.
I don't. It's
I mean, I don't like his weapons, but you know,
yeah. You see, that's the thing is I'm not like super high on him. I wouldn't say
reason,
I'm low on him either. It's just they did
the
everything they
reason
could
I
to make
am,
that situation for him as terrible as it could be.
I think he's got rushing upside, so that's why I'm high, and he's got a cannon of an arm. I don't know.
Right.
A receiver, I think, which he could be good. I can't remember which one they did draft, but yeah, and they get a defensive coach. I don't know, put him in successful situations. I mean, who knows? Maybe he breaks out. Daniel
Maybe.
Jones is on the board.
I don't see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, I get the
ball nowhere draft. I mean, honestly, like I was saying earlier, everyone's not going by ADP. They're going to get their guys. And I think most
yeah,
people that know it, like, I mean, Daniel Jones was already kind of starting to fall off from that high that he started off the year with last year, and then gets hurt,
yeah,
kind of plays like crap a little bit, and then gets hurt. And now you're asking him to come back from a serious injury, a guy that already like only has like half a season of like being a good quarterback under his belt, and like 3 or 4 seasons of being bad, like embarrassingly bad. That's a tough bet to make. Oh, someone
it
joined the
is
league.
bad. I wouldn't.
Let's get them assigned to that roster spot.
Take a look at it and be like, what the fuck? Really like receivers. Asian Browns.
Okay, let me get this guy. Did that guy join then leave? Oh no, it assigned him to team 9 right away. Cool. So he's already in there drafting. Sweet. Cool. Wonderful.
He stays and he doesn't look at the
Yeah.
roster and be like, fuck it.
I mean, honestly, it's not a bad roster in a super flex league. He's got
Running.
probably the two best quarterbacks. He's got a wide receiver one, a good running back. And I don't think running back heavy is a bad thing this year. I don't know if I like the running backs they went heavy with though.
Yeah, he needs.
Yeah, he does need another receiver, but don't we all?
Yeah, we can never have enough of them.
Yeah, I think they're going to be hard to
Ooh,
come by this year too. Yeah, there goes
ooh,
your boy CJ Stroud.
reach. Ooh, reach.
Reach, he was like the top quarterback left. It's like him and Bryce Young and Daniel Jones. How was that a reach? And he has no other quarterbacks. His only other quarterback's Jordan Love. That dude did not have a choice. It was Stroud or Young. I didn't catch any of that.
I would have taken Daniel Jones and Bryce over CJ Stroud.
You'd have taken Daniel Jones over Stroud.
100%. Rushing outside, he's going to be.
He's not going to start. He's not going to be healthy to start the year. You're not coming through at all. I don't hear anything right now.
First 4 weeks, maybe he's out.
All I heard was first 4 weeks, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Quentin Johnston goes off the board after CJ Stroud, Brady's favorite. I hope you guys are at least able to hear what he had to say. We'll see. Jake Ferguson goes off the board to Lucas. That's his first tight end of the draft.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, yeah. I don't know how long Daniel Jones is going to be out. Maybe as much as Mahomes. I don't know when he got injured, about halfway through the year. Is that right?
No. Jones was like
Week 8, right?
No, his ACL. Let me pull him up. I think it was later. I think it was like 12 or 13.
Maybe you're right.
Week 14.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe not so much Jones.
I'll look and see when Mahomes' was.
I think it was a bit earlier.
Mahomes was 15.
Oh, okay. Well, it should
So
be around the
they're
same.
about the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if they only both missed 4 games, then I probably would take Daniel. But you probably took a QB2 too late.
Oh, I definitely did.
I mean, me too. No, I got that one. Oh boy.
Tony Pollard goes off the board. That new team is auto drafting, so whatever. Diet Coke.
Another running back.
Yep. Diet Coke for life is up. All right, let's look at this team. 'Cause I think that's who Kimberly that's listening is. So let's look at this one. So far, she has got Joe Burrow at her quarterback. Let me pull it up like this. Okay, she got Joe Burrow, Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Swift, Nico Collins, Chris Godwin, Colston Loveland, Tucker Kraft, Jackson Dart, and Bo Nix. I'm not a Chris Godwin guy, but I think other than that, I really like locked up. You're always going to have a good tight end week in a best ball format like that. You're always going to have a good quarterback in Superflex week, I think. And then, I mean, I like the running back room. I mean, I don't think McCaffrey's going to be like what we're used to, but he should still be good. And Swift is, I mean, he should still be pretty solid too, a good RB2.
Yeah. But I saw another quarterback. Pretty solid.
I'm not hearing you, dude. Try your data. Try going on data. Maybe that'll do it. Rico Dowdle goes after Tony Pollard, so she took Rico Dowdle to go with that. Okay, yeah, and I feel like that's probably a pretty good pick right there. Uh, kind of shores up running back. I think especially late in the year. I think Rico Dowdle probably. I mean, it could start at the beginning of the year, but I think especially late in the year that'll probably become more of his backfield. But In my opinion, I could be wrong. J.K. Dobbins goes after that, and it is my turn to pick. So, gross. You know what? Maybe like Wandale or Kenneth Gainwell right here. I really don't. I'm not a Wandale guy, but I feel like this late, he's probably going to be a PPR machine, or he should be at least. Yeah, I think I'll go Wandale. I could use a receiver anyways. All right, Reed is on the board. Oh, I sniped someone with the Wandale pick. FL Wellington. Wonderful. That's always a good feeling when you snipe someone. It it feels almost as good as getting sniped hurts, if that makes any sense. Oh man. Oh, okay. So no, FL Wellington is Kimberly. Okay. Okay. All right. She just clarified that up. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so well, let's talk about Wellington's team a little bit then, since you've been hanging out with us. Okay. So yeah, and actually that's good because I like this team a lot more. So this will be a lot easier to say nice things about. Jaden Daniels, Sam Darnold. That's I mean, obviously you got Jaden Daniels should be like if things go right, top five quarterback, tons of upside week to week. Sam Darnold, he's not my cup of tea, but everybody else likes him, so I'm probably just wrong. And he just feels like a really safe number two quarterback, so that's really good. Jamar Chase and Chris Olave, that's pretty nice way to start a draft, and the receiving room is going to be nice, especially with Makai Lemon in like round 8. Romeo Dobbs in round 10 is going to be probably pretty nice. I don't know. There's a lot of mouths to feed in New England, but even still, in round 10, the end of round 10, nonetheless, I think that's not a bad pick. And then Brees and Cam, I think probably both going to be close to bell cow running backs. Aaron Glenn's fighting for his job, so if Brees just plays well, he's going to be the guy that is in there and getting the work. Uh, Yeah, because they're going to be doing anything they can to look good and keep their jobs. Cam Scatterbo, if he comes back healthy. Giants didn't draft anyone. It's just him and Tyrone Tracy, and that wasn't a problem for him before. So should have like a running back one and a running back two. Whether which one is which right there, I don't know. But I mean, yeah, I mean, kind of covering all the T's and tight end. You got Sam Laporta, who I'm so high on this year, uh, getting Drew Petzing as his offensive coordinator. I think that's huge. Watch out for a crazy Sam Laporta year. And then Sadiq is a nice Sadiq's not the guy I would have personally done it with, but as your second tight end, I don't think that's a bad option. I just feel like Garrett Wilson's probably still going to get like 10 to 12 targets a game, and that is, I mean, Brees is probably going to get a few, backfield dump offs. I just don't know how much that leaves for you guys like, Sadiq, Adonai Mitchell, who's the other pass catcher they drafted? Isaiah Williams, is that who I'm thinking of? Oh no, I'm thinking of Omar Cooper. Omar Cooper. They drafted Omar Cooper. Um, but yeah, I mean, it is tight end too, and I said earlier in the pod, I think tight end could be pretty gross this year. So I don't really think it really matters what you do at tight end. I think it's probably just going to be gross for most people unless you get one of the guys like Sam Laporta or something like that. So yeah, not a bad team. Okay, so after that pick, where are we? Romeo Dobbs. Okay, so Romeo Dobbs, you made that pick. That's pretty worse. After that goes Hunter Henry. Uh, that feels like maybe a bit of a reach. Bryce Young, Ricky Pearsall, Brady took Daniel Jones. Got his third quarterback. I love it. Stuck true to his word. Yeah, he was like, I'm about that life for real. Um, so that's pretty much all the quarterbacks off the board that are starters this year right now. I guess besides Brissett, I think Brissett's still probably locked in as the starter there. I guess Geno's still there, and whoever the Cleveland quarterback is, Shadur and Deshaun are both still there. I say fuck it, let the world burn. Start Taylor Green. Let's see what happens. You know, but I don't know. Tua, I think he probably wins the starting job. He's right there, him and Penix both. So quarterback's pretty depleted. Not much left there. Um, but I think pretty much everyone's got two quarterbacks. Okay, Thunderlips here has only two. I think everyone else has about three. Although I guess I'm wrong because these next two teams all have three or two, two. I have three. Then there's two. There's the three quarterback team. Okay, no, it's all mostly two quarterbacks. So not too many three quarterback teams right now. I think that's fair because there are still kind of some starting jobs up in the air right now. Blake Corum goes off the board. Yeah, probably about where you should go. That seems about right. Gosh, looking at this ADP though, it's just gross. So the players coming up right now still available. You're looking at like Dallas Goddard, Mark Andrews, George Kittle, the wrong B Robinson, Jawan Johnson, Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, who I like, but I mean, we're to that point in the draft. I don't really wish I hadn't let the guy that was crying about bench spots talk me into adding a spot for this just for him to lead the league because that last round is just going to be a bunch of gross fucking names that don't matter. Rashad White. Now that is a great fucking pick. I did not even see him, and that's why you don't go by ADP because holy shit, that dude is Washington starter this year. I don't know why people are acting like, ooh, Jokoi Kwaski Mewit or whoever. What's the other guy there? Who's I'm blanking on the third guy in that little rotation. Jerome Ford, Jeremy McNichols. Get out of here, dude. Get lost. What are we talking about? Yeah, right. Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford had every opportunity to become something in Cleveland and did Jack Diddley piss with it. So I don't think he's a factor. Jeremy McNichols, I mean, I don't think he's as bad as like a lot of people probably think he is, but he's 30 and just kind of like a coach's guy kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? And, and I'm sorry, Ja'Cory Cross-It's like not that good. He's not that good. He's kind of mid at best. You go look at his yards per carry and his efficiency last year, like yeah, he's got some nice games with like 8 yards per carry, 7 yards per carry, and there's a 9 yards per carry here. But you know what else there's a lot of? There's a lot of 2.5 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards, 3.5, and just like gross averages. And there's a lot more of those than the good carries. And it just he's another guy had a great chance last year to maybe kind of take that backfield and make it his. All he had to compete with was Jeremy McNichols and Chris Rodriguez, and he couldn't get the job done. And a 6th round pick for a reason, you know. So like I don't know. I'm not a JCM guy. And Rashad White, we've seen him be good in a fantasy before a couple years ago in Tampa Bay. Like you get him involved in the passing game. He's like a poor man's Alvin Kamara really. A poor man's. I want to make that very clear. I'm not saying he's Alvin Kamara, but like, yeah, I don't get why people wouldn't think he's not the starter there. And I just talked all the way through my thing, but that's okay. Kenneth Gainwell's right there, and I took him. That's all right. Misbehave, left the league. I don't even know what you're still doing in here, bro. You're auto drafting after joining later, man. Um, yeah, I think I wish I'd have seen Rashad White in there. I did not because that's crazy value. I maybe my hot take of the offseason. I don't know. I think that's like league winning value right there with Rashad White getting him at the end. I think he could be a league winner this year. Yeah, definitely someone to stick your flag into. After that though, Casey Concepcion goes to Reed halfway through the 11th round. Um Gosh, it's just the quarterbacks there. I mean, he should be really good. The quarterbacks, neither of the quarterbacks have been drafted, and that would make me kind of skeptical to draft the receiver. And then I took Kenneth Gainwell. George Kittle goes off the board. Josh Downs. Josh Downs, that's probably some really good value right there too. Um, yeah, he might be in line for a really good year. Um, Especially if Daniel Jones, I mean, if Brady's right and Daniel Jones does come back and is, Josh Downs might be really nice. Dallas Goddard, I believe, auto drafted. And then Chris Rodriguez goes off the board, who you know, I don't think he's that great, but I think the situation might be okay for him to be like more fantasy relevant than he has been, at least like on a more consistent basis. Uh, that pick was by Lucas. Um, but just him and Liam Cohen have a history. I forget exactly what it is. I think it goes back to college or something like that. And, and Chris is another one of those guys kind of does the things that coaches like, that's going to keep him on the field. And I'm looking at his game log, comparing it to JCM's last year. It looks like he was a little more efficient in the run game, if we're being honest. Uh, I mean, he's really kind of a non-factor in the passing game, but if I'm not mistaken, he's a bit of a decent blocker, so I think uh I think he could be a good value pick there, and I think he could maybe I'm not predicting this. I'm saying maybe be the top fantasy scoring RB in Jacksonville this year. Maybe I don't know. I have not been a big Tootin guy. We'll see how that goes. LaQuint Allen's there too. Um, but after Chris Rodriguez, we're gonna call him Rodriguez, Quis Rodriguez. Tyler Algier goes. Jordan Mason. Ja'Cory Crossking Merritt is the yeah. I mean yeah. Then Jaden Reed, Tyrone Tracy, Mark Andrews. Diet Coke for life back on the board. Then Levy. Then myself. Let's take a look at the board here. Uh, like Charbonnet, James Conner, Woody Marks, Emmett Johnson. Oh, okay, this is just running back. Oops. Okay. Gosh, I'm not even looking at the ADP. Quarterback's pretty much toast. So the running backs, I told you some of those. I mean, Kamara, Coleman, Spears, those guys. At wide receiver, still available. Diggs, Khalil Shakir, Jawan Jennings, Xavier Worthy, Jaden Higgins, Coker, Tyreek Hill, Debo Samuel. Honestly, some late round value here at receiver. Um, yeah, some guys I would say well worth some late round dart throws here. Like Tyreek Hill, if he signs somewhere, could be a nice late round dart throw. And Coker's solid. Oh, did they just draft another receiver though? Yeah, they did, didn't they? I think they just drafted another receiver. Oh, I don't see that. I don't see him on here. Maybe he just hasn't signed yet. I'm pretty sure they just drafted a receiver, so maybe not him. Uh, but Jaden Higgins could be nice. Xavier Worthy, maybe he finally breaks out. They didn't draft another receiver or bring anyone in. Juwan Jennings could land in a good spot. Shakir, I kind of think Khalil Shakir, probably gonna be my pick unless Levy takes him right here. I think he's wide receiver one in Buffalo still. I don't think DJ Moore is that guy. Uh, yeah, just he's 30. I mean, he's kind of had his chance to ascend to that Alpha X dominate targets kind of role. Um, and he just never has. And I don't think he's gonna. I think he's a good receiver. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's the kind of guy that, he goes to Buffalo and now he's commanding 10 targets a game and turns them into some kind of favorite. And now Josh Allen found his number one receiver. I don't think that's the case. I think it's still Khalil Shakir. And I think of course, that's who Levy took. You son of a bitch. But you probably know ball. But I'm gonna go Jaden Higgins there. But I do think that he probably still gets the targets, and DJ Moore probably just makes the targets better for him. And I, I, I I think he'll be the best scoring fantasy receiver in Buffalo this year. And I don't think DJ Moore is going to necessarily be bad for fantasy, but I think both are probably like wide receiver 3, 4, flex week, maybe bye week, flex week options. I would say like second second flex options, kind of right there. Okay, so after I got sniped on Shakir, I'm gonna post that in there. Sniped on Shakir. Um, goes Jaden Higgins. I took. It feels like it might be an okay year for him in Houston. We'll see. Jalen Coker, that's Reed's guy. He took Reed, or he took Coker. Reed took him. That makes sense. That's his guy. Wellington goes Malik Washington. Again, probably some nice value right there. Again, at receiver, late, right now he's wide receiver one in Miami. I don't know how much that really means, but it is the role he's in. So I mean that's good. It's better than being in the role he was in last year. And I mean he's pretty quick, dude. I mean I think a lot of people probably giving him a lot of shit this year just because like should he be your number one receiver? No, for like a football team. I don't think he's like bad. I think most teams could probably win a lot of games with him as like a two or a three option. Um, but yeah, probably not a bad late round value there. Yeah, receiver, some late round value here. Very interesting. Running back, and quarterback are pretty much dick and balls at this point. Yeah, pretty much dick and balls. There's not much else there. Um, and it's not a lot of dick and balls. It's micro penis territory. There at running back and at quarterback. Yeah, not good. Wide receiver. Some of these guys are starting to go now, but there's probably still, yeah, even going. And once you really start to scroll too, you still see some value here. Some guys worth potentially taking, especially in a best ball format. Where am I on tight end? I've got Trey McBride. I should probably look into getting a tight end too. Uh, Juwan Johnson's available. Who did they bring? They brought in another tight end, Oscar Delp and Noah Fant. Ugh, I'm not so worried about Noah Fant, but Oscar Delp. I don't know how I feel about that. AJ Barner's still there. Actually, Barner would probably be a good pick right here. And Joku visiting the Chargers on Monday. Hmm, that would kill a lot of Gadsden shares. Uh, Chigo Okonkwo's there. That's that's probably some good value. Uh, they didn't. I think he's their. Oh yeah, Zach Ertz, but we're not worried about Zach Ertz. Reed might be, but yeah. So tight end's not completely barren yet. Wide receiver still got some decent late round value. Quarterback and running back pretty spent, and we're at the first pick of round 13 actually. Um, I really wish we had not added that extra round because it is so unnecessary at this point. Um, so at the 12-13 turn, Brady doubles up with Brenton Strange and Woody Marks. Um, yeah, yeah, probably good late round values right there. Woody Marks probably going to be getting a decent amount of work with David Montgomery. Brenton Strange should still be their lead tight end. I don't know what that means in Jacksonville, but with a 12th round pick, to go behind Harold Fannin, right? It would probably give you, I'm sure, at least a good floor each week at tight end. I'd say Chico Conquo goes to Thunder Lips. Gosh, it's almost like I'm broadcasting who I want to draft to listeners, but there's only two of you here. But sniped again. I guess I can't say sniped on Okonkwo. I don't know if that's what I was going to say, but was definitely on the board. Stephon Diggs goes. That's interesting. I think that was an auto draft. Dylan Sampson to Wellington. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you got, I would probably only draft him if you had Judkins instead in like a handcuff situation. But I mean, it's round 13, so you're going off darts and hunches, and Reed took Burner, and that definitely was a sniper right there. And he is not listening. So that is frustrating. Gosh. Tight end just got pretty barren. I don't want to draft Jawan Johnson. There's Dalton Schultz. Did they bring in anyone else with him? No. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. Um, fuck. Piss in my ass. Um, I'm gonna go Gunnar Helm in Tennessee, I guess. I guess I probably should have just waited another round if that's where I was gonna go, but I don't know. Someone would have probably taken him right before I was about to draft, so. Okay, that is what it is. That's okay. We can still come around and get some receiver value unless all these guys disappear before then too. I mean, someone did just take one. They took Xavier Worthy. Okay, that's a great late round dart throw. That's a great late round dart throw. Yeah, Diet Coke for life on the clock. Hmm, interesting. So it just dawned on me. I'd never really realized it before, but I guess the last best ball draft we did and this one, at least two of the managers are women, and I don't know that before this year. Oh, okay, no, I had played with women in fantasy football. That sounds so funny. I never played with no women in fantasy. No, it's not like that. Not like that. There was one other time in Scott Fishbowl a couple years ago. There was a lady there, at that event, and I don't think she was in my league, but there was like 4 leagues drafting that day. It was a big event. Um, and she was there and chatted with her a little bit. She was pretty cool. She was there with her husband. He was pretty cool too. They were a pretty nice couple. Honestly, a couple of goals, just fantasy football events. Just like they both had their like computers and spreadsheets out, ready to draft and everything. It was kind of wholesome to see, honestly, actually. But no, I don't think other than that I've ever played with women. Not like I've ever had a no women rule. Just never had, yeah. It's weird. I know the last 2, 3 years we've been playing with a couple of guys from Norway, I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, it's Norway, 'cause I always think it's Denmark, and then they're like, it's not Denmark, dumbass. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's Norway. So it's Norway. Um, and there's another guy from somewhere over there in Europe, I think we play with. And then we've got Alex from Australia. So really just diversifying our portfolio right now. Yeah. Oh, the pick was an accident. Oh, well, do we need to restate it? Okay. Yeah, and honestly, that's that pick anywhere. Anyways, right there, Zach Charbonnet in the 13th round. That's pretty decent. Yeah, yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that, but still, Charbonnet, yeah, you could have a lot worse accident. Ty Simpson, okay. Oh, auto draft, that's why. Yeah, okay. Wow, and that's that team's second quarterback in a super flex league, and their only other quarterback is Tyler Shook. What a strategy! What a strategy! And they have not been auto drafting this entire time, I don't think. So I can't wait to review these teams. I'm gonna go ahead and start getting the team names typed out so I can start uh rating them once we get done. We will go in draft order. On your lips. And, FL, read me, Levy, Coke, team. And this this person right here that's on the auto draft that just took Ty Simpson would let me click on their name. I'd read their name. I think their name might be Anna too, so we might actually have 3 women in this league, which I don't know. I might have to draw the line right there. I'm just kidding. But no, seriously. I'm just kidding. But seriously. Seriously, I'm kidding. Okay, anyways. So is that all 12? Okay, yeah. So we will go through once we get this. And look at all of the teams, and yeah, figure it out. Figure it out. And we will rate them all. I will make my opinion and assessment on who I think had the best draft. As always, this is never expert opinion. I'm just a dude that likes to talk about fantasy football with a podcast. So yeah, that's all it is. So it's my opinion. If you get butt hurt, I mean, damn. I mean, I guess. Oh well, there's the door. It's a free league. You'll be all right. Okay, so let's kind of look at some of these late round picks here and see who's gone. So starting round 13, we kind of talked about that a little bit. Woody Marks, Chigo Okonkwo, Stephon Diggs, Dylan Sampson, AJ Barner, Gunnar Helm. That was the first 6 picks. Then after that was Xavier Worthy, Jonah Coleman, Tyreek Hill, Zach Charbonnet, Ty Simpson, Geno Smith. Then the first pick of round 14 was Travis Kelsey, Shaheed, Denzel Boston, Jawan Jennings, Omar Cooper, and Matthew Golden. That puts me on the clock with probably gonna go wide receiver here. Let's look and see what the market's looking like. Jalen McMillan's there. I like Jalen McMillan this year, although I guess they did just draft that kid. Is it Ted Hurst, right? Yeah. Um, not ad-dimensional, not Jerry Judy. I'm somewhat tempted to take it. We're taking dart throws at this point, it feels like. So I'm somewhat tempted to take a dart throw on IU because the upside could be really nice, but at the same time, I don't know. Emmett Johnson's there. He could be a really nice handcuff. Same with Mike Washington, but I don't really want to draft a handcuff in a best ball league. But then again, I guess we're locking waivers, so hmm. James Conner is there too. Wide receiver, gosh, I'm gonna go Keyshawn Booty actually. I'm gonna go Keyshawn Booty. Probably have some probably have some spike weeks and in like a best ball format. I think that's probably good because week to week he's probably not going to be startable in like a regular format. But like this, where it's just kind of it gives you whoever scores the most. I think it probably works out. It gives me like a week or two of a flex spot, maybe a wide receiver spot where he catches some deep ball down the field, has like 3 or 4 other catches that game for decent chunks, and has like a 20-point week. Nothing crazy. I'm not predicting like I would. What did he do last year? I don't even think I would predict anything quite even to that extent. Obviously not with AJ Brown and Romeo Dobbs. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he had one 20-point game, one 26-point game last year, and then a few 16-point games. I mean, honestly, looking at it now, I probably would redo that pick because what we got out of him last year is probably what I would hope to get this year. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe the quality of the targets will improve. Um, and that'll help. Crazy to think he's only 23. He's been in the league for a minute too. A lot of people forget he's a first round talent. He slipped out. He slipped out of the draft because of gambling stuff at LSU. It wasn't because he sucked. Like he was a first round pick until all that shit happened. So uh, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that something nice happens. Jalen McMillan goes after that. I'm surprised he has Ted Hurst already been taken? Because I'm surprised Reed took Jalen McMillan over Ted Hurst because we were talking the other day, and he sounded like he thought Ted Hurst would be the one to kind of, uh, or Jalen McMillan would kind of be the odd man out there, or maybe that was Tez. Maybe he thought it would be Tez. No, I think it was Jalen. I think it was Jalen and Tez. I think he thinks he's in the camp of like McMillan or of Hurst, Godwin, and Ibuka, which is fine. I get that. It makes sense, but that's not where I'm at. I've never been a Godwin person personally. At least not post Tom Brady. TJ Hawkinson goes off the board after James Conner and Tajay Spears. Jerry Judy is Brady's pick, the last one of the 14th round. It should be the last pick of the this draft, really. But some crybaby who left the league after getting his way wanted another round and another bench spot. So I guess here we are. I wish I had fixed that, but such is life. Um, so we'll see who he starts the 15th round off with. Antonio Williams from Washington. Okay, I think that's probably a good dart throw right there. Because right now Debo's not on the roster. He might come back, but he's not on the roster. Jalen Lane was mostly special teams last year. Luke McCaffrey kind of just showing some flashes here and there, but it probably looks like he's just going to be a solid 3 or 4 guy on your team, on like your football team, not your fantasy team. So Antonio Williams could have a nice pathway to becoming Washington's wide receiver too. So that could be some really nice value there, especially if Daniels is healthy all year and plays like we think healthy Jaden Daniels will. Um, Thunder Lips on the clock with their last pick. Uh, we can kind of go through these teams here in a minute. Let's see what these messages are saying. Should have put more rounds. What? Hard disagree. There's a couple people like plenty of talent left. Yeah, Lucas said it. Already past bedtime anyways. Yeah, as far as the clock is concerned, we can't afford another round. We already been here too long. Um, almost 2 hours for a regular baseball draft. That's crazy. Uh, yeah, no, I would have to disagree that there's still plenty of talent left, of like fantasy relevant talent. Like I am not excited about these guys. Zachariah Branch, maybe that might be one of my last dart throws. I mean, some of these rookies, I just how many of these guys are even gonna be good? Travis Hunter, gross. We're looking at like defense. Adonai Mitchell, like wide receiver 3 for the Jets. Pat Bryant, like wide receiver 4 for the Broncos. What are we talking about here? Shamir DK's like wide receiver 3 in a sketchy offense. Calvin Ridley. Yeah, yeah, gross. Marvin Mims is. Oh, I'm just looking at wide receivers right now, but regardless, even still, Alvin Kamara is like one of the top guys. Yeah, no, gross. Yeah, in my opinion, this talent pool has gotten pro. Last star throw, Zachariah Branch here to round out my draft. Yeah. If everyone wanted to do one more round, maybe we could do one more. But I know Lucas has already said he's up past his bedtime. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Thunderlips. It's best ball, plenty of talent there in the chat. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, it's not like it's different, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's enough to get excited about. I guess I get the argument when we're not uh gonna have waivers and whatnot. But gosh, we're gonna have other drafts. Yeah, and we're gonna draft all these guys a million times this offseason. We got it. It's still May. It's still May. We got to literally like September. Like I think it's September 6th or 9th is like we got like 3 months, 4 months and some change still. So plenty of drafts to go. We can do some deeper drafts throughout the off season. I know we're doing a draft maybe this weekend, if not probably 2 weekends from there. Gonna be a different kind of vibe. Um, I'm really excited about that one. There may or may not be some psychedelics involved in that draft, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, what's up, Lucas?
I'm thinking this could be the steal of the
Okay,
sludge.
okay.
We don't think Kittle's playing at the beginning of the season, right?
I don't. You're gonna go
Tonjes?
Tonjes?
I think that
He's still
dude
on the
could
board.
literally be a huge player for Purdy early in the
At
season.
least to start, yeah. Yeah, you're right, 100%.
I faded tight end so bad.
Yeah, you did. That could really help you a lot. Yeah, you did, because you only took Jake Ferguson in the 10th
Yeah.
round. That's it.
Well, in the
Yeah,
last
so
few rounds, like I was high on some guys that went before it got to me, and I'm like, I feel like after like the top 6 tight ends, does it even matter that much?
right. I agree the same. Yeah.
Is this guy going to get me 10 points versus the 7? The other guy will.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. With that, either tight end and quarterback, my philosophy with both of them are pretty much if I don't get one of the early ones, I'm waiting until the last few rounds for the most part.
Yeah.
Quarterback was kind of weird in this draft though, just because that auto draft and everything.
I think that the dude, Team 9, that auto drafted the whole thing, they almost messed it up so bad. Like, I've never seen it, even like, what I would have expected. That changed so much.
Yeah, it really did. Because then Drake May goes like not too long after that.
Yeah, it's just
Right,
pushed hard. I didn't realize this was Superflex till you realized it. So
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
well, I guess we're going to keep rolling. So,
it's crazy because I'm the commissioner too.
right.
It'd be like that. It'd be like that. But good shit, man. Thank you for joining us and hopping on and drafting with us too.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's been fun as
Cool.
always.
Yes, sir.
Let me know if
We'll
you
talk to you in
decide to throw up
SSP.
any more.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're down for more best ball drafts, we'll be, like I said, probably doing one later this month for sure, and probably at least one a month until the season starts, maybe two some months if you're just eager to do some drafts or something.
Yeah, my buddy that joined in, I work with him. I'll talk to him tomorrow. I think he'd probably
Which
be
one's
interested
that?
too. So Spence, it's the Levy. He was the
Oh,
8th
that's
pick,
late. Okay, okay.
7th.
Yep, okay. Yeah,
Yep.
cool. Sweet.
So just let us know.
Wonderful. Will do.
All right. Thanks, Zach. Have a good night.
Yeah. You too, man. Talk to you later.
Yep. Bye.
All right. So thank you to Lucas for hopping on. And shout out to Kimberly. She's been hanging out the whole time. Um, Invite's still open to chat if you want. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and start going through these teams and start ranking them. I'm gonna start with the first pick. That was Brady. So his team drafting from the one spot was Bijan Robinson, George Pickens, Jeremiah Love, Luther Burden, Harold Fannin, Carnell Tate, Dak Prescott, Chuba Hubbard, Cam Ward, Ricky Pearsall, Daniel Jones, Brenton Strange, Woody Marks, Jerry Judy, and Antonio Williams. Man, this feels definitely very safe. I don't think this team could. I don't really see very many avenues for it to be bad, I would say. Because Dak, I mean, he's going to give you a good quarterback production. Not a Cam Ward guy personally, but between him and Daniel Jones, you should have your quarterback two figured out each week pretty easily. Um, Running back Bijan, you can't really go. I mean, that says all it needs to. Jeremiah Love, I mean, he's a rookie, so you always got to see it with a rookie. I'm one of those guys I like to see it before I draft it with rookies, but I mean, all the potential's there, no doubt, to be maybe a second RB1 for him, let alone his RB2. Then he's got Chuba Hubbard there. I think Chuba's going to have a nice year this year, be the lead running back there again. Woody Marsh could have a nice year, maybe get a ton of volume if something happens to Montgomery, which I don't think is out the question. Um, Receivers, I like it. Pickens and Burden, that's a nice duo. I'm pretty high on Burden this year, like I was saying earlier. Carnell Tate's good. Uh, and I mean, you got Cam Ward, so it makes sense to have those two on the same team. Brady's a big Ricky Pearsall guy. I'm not, so I don't really like that. And then Jerry Judy and Antonio Williams late. I mean, that's solid. I mean, they're his last two picks, so I think with when you're looking like your last two picks, both those guys are fine. Um, I think. Oh, and tight end, he's got Harold Fannin and Brenton Strange. I'm skeptical on the Cleveland passing game this year. It kind of makes me sick. Um, and then there's Brenton Strange, and like he's good. I don't really see the upside there with him or with. I mean, I guess I see the upside with Fan and obvious. I mean, the upside's obvious, but I don't know if I see the floor with Fannin, I guess would be the thing. So I don't know. Maybe that'll make them a good combination. Maybe. But I think if I'm gonna rate this team on a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'm gonna go. Uh, Gosh, I'm torn between like 6.5 and 7. I'm gonna go 6.8. I'm gonna go 6.8, just under a 7. So that feels fair. So next up would be Thunderlits, and their team is Baker Mayfield, Jameer Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Tedero McMillan, Devontae Adams, Chigo Okonkwo, Javonte Williams, Romo Dunze, Marvin Harrison, Alec Pierce, Bryce Young, Blake Corum, Jonathan Brooks, T.J. Hawkinson, and Brissett, who we got in the 15th round. That's really nice, actually. Um, 'Cause I don't think Beck's coming for that job. So I said how I feel about Baker earlier. Uh, who's this quarterback too? Bryce Young and Jacoby. Gosh, that quarterback room feels kind of ass. I'm not gonna lie. Running backs. That's nice. Jameer Gibbs, Saquon, Javonte. That's a big power three at running back. I like that. And then Blake Corum could be nice. We'll see what happens. I think he gonna need like a Kyron injury to be like truly like someone you want on your fantasy team. Jonathan Brooks, I am so far out on Jonathan Brooks. I've alluded to that on previous pods, so I'm not going to dive into it again tonight. But yeah, would not draft him with the very last pick of the last round. Um, Receiver, Tet, Rome, Alec Pierce. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That feels kind of gross to me too. Cause Tet's okay. Low end wide receiver one, Devontae. I guess they didn't bring in any wide receiver, so he should probably still have at least another serviceable year. But I mean, I'll keep harping on it like I have before. Like, it's not like he was putting up crazy totals last year. He was just getting touchdowns, sometimes 2 touchdowns in like pretty much every game last year. And you go and look at the games where he didn't have touchdowns, 6.9, 11.1. Uh, the other 3 games that he played in and didn't have a touchdown, 9.1, 13.8, and 7.9. I feel like there's a good chance there's a lot of that. And even one of these touchdown games he did have a touchdown. It was his only catch on 8 targets. And he had seven all of his fantasy points came from that one play. So I don't know how I feel about Devontae at this point. As like a low end flex option, I like him, but not as like my wide receiver too. Um and then Marvin Harrison and Romo Dunze. I think that's just the wrong receivers from that draft class to have on your team. Um I would rather have Brian Thomas. I'd rather have Malik Neighbors. And another guy I'm forgetting about that I might rather have. Alec Pierce, that could be pretty nice. We'll see. Michael Pittman's gone. It's him and Josh Downs. He just got paid, so you know they're gonna try and at least get him the ball. So I guess that's not so bad, and that's a good value in round 9. But like, who's throwing him the ball though? Who's throwing him the ball? Riley Leonard or Daniel Jones coming off an injury? Like, let's not be quick to forget who Daniel Jones has been for most of his career. I know he had a little bit of bounce back. That's great. I hope it happens again because more fantasy quarterbacks we have, the better. But that's just it feels kind of gross to me. Um, and most of this team feels kind of gross to me. 'Cause then the tight ends are Chig and TJ, and I like the value he got on Chig Okonkwo. Um, and I guess the value he got on Hawkinson is fine for that matter too. But I don't think Hawkinson's going to be great for fantasy this year. 9, JJ McCarthy couldn't support TJ Hawkinson last year. And even if Kyler comes in and is good, he like does historically does not throw to his tight end. Like he throws to his receivers and his running backs. He checks down to the running back. So I don't know how I feel about that so much. I guess that was a little different with Trey, but even still, you really saw we've seen the best of Trey McBride be without Kyler. And I don't think that's because Kyler sucks. I think it's just that's not I think it's just a playstyle thing. I don't know. Spending too much time on this team that I don't like outside of like the 3 running backs. So I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna go like 3-5 on this. Yeah, I don't like this team very much at all. Next up, we got Cream de la Creme. Okay, and so their team is Drake May, Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne, JSN, Jalen Waddle, Kyle Pitts, Brian Thomas, Cortland Sutton, Trevor Lawrence, Hunter Henry, Fernando Mendoza, Brian Robinson, Stephon Diggs, James Conner, and Tua Tagovailoa. Um, I definitely like this team a lot more, especially that starting group right there. I think that's pretty good. I mean, the quarterback room, we'll look at that. I mean, that's Drake May, Trevor Lawrence, Mendoza, and Tua. I mean, I think he could have just got by with just Drake May and Trevor Lawrence, but I think Tua's the starter all year, so that's probably nice. I don't really get the Mendoza pick, but the other three are all really nice. And then running backs, I love his running back room. Josh Jacobs and Travis Etienne, uh, two of like the very few remaining bell cow running backs left in the league that are probably going to get like at least 80% of their team's running back work. Yeah, that's fucking nice. And then who else did he have at running back after that? I mean, it gets a little gross after that. Brian Robinson and James Conner. That's that's a little sketchy, but I like the 1-2 punch for sure. Wide receiver JSN and Jalen Waddle. That should be fucking awesome, honestly. Uh, Jalen Waddle slipping to the 5-3. I don't think that's going to keep happening. I think by the time we get closer to the season, he's probably going to be like a second round pick. I think a lot, like we've mentioned a million times in this so far, like that ADP very dynasty affected, and that's probably where he was going early in the offseason when he was still in Miami too. It's probably still some of that baked into his ADP on here because it's like from the whole offseason. So he's probably just been trending upwards in most drafts going forward. Probably gonna have to start looking at Waddle in like round 3, 4, and like maybe even the end of round 2 by the time the season's over because it's a great situation. He's a talented receiver. He's fast as hell. Good coach. I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't be like a a top top 2 round receiver. But anyways, then after that you got Brian Thomas, Cortland Sutton, um, Stephon Diggs. And again, I don't really know about this bench. This bench actually okay. Looking at this team now, I can 100% say I love the starting group. I think he nailed that very well, but the bench is dog shit. Because look at the starting group. That's Drake May, Josh Jacobs, ETN, JSN, Waddle, Pitts, Brian Thomas, Cortland Sutton, Trevor Lawrence. That's that's a nice draft. I would love to have that draft like probably like 8 times out of 10. But then you get to the bench and it's Hunter Henry, Mendoza, Brian Robinson, Stephon Diggs, James Conner, and Tua. That's going to kind of kill this team's score for me. If they had a better bench, I could probably go as high as like 8.5, 9 on this one. Maybe even like 9.5. No, 9 would probably be about as high as I would go. But that bench is killing it for me. So I think I'm gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna go. Do I like it more than Brady's? He's at 6'8". See, I like Brady's bench more than this guy's, but I like this guy's starting group more than Brady's. Ugh, gosh, and I think his bench is so much worse that I'm gonna have to rate it a little bit lower than Brady's. And I'm gonna go 6.5 here for a cream de la creme. Next up, we got FL Wellington Kimberly, who's been chilling in the chat this whole time. We really appreciate that. And by we, I mean I. So let's go over her team and let's see what she's cooking up here. So at quarterback, she's got Jaden Daniels and Sam Darnold, and she picked up Shadur with her last pick in round 15. Okay, so let's just go through it not by position. Okay, so Jaden, Brees Hall, Cam Scatterbo, Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, Sam Laporta, Makai Lemon, Kenyon Sadiq, Sam Darnold, Romeo Dobbs, Rashad White, Malik Washington, Dylan Sampson, Tajay Spears, and Shadur Sanders. Um, I definitely like this team a lot. Jaden Daniel, I mean, the quarterback room will start right there. I'm not a Shadur guy. Although he'll probably I don't think he's the starter all year next year because Deshaun's not going to start all year. I think Shadur probably gets benched too at some point, but I mean it's quarterback 3, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think you're going to need it because Jaden Daniels and Sam Darnold should probably just lock you in every week, and you don't got to worry about it. I guess other than their bye weeks, but you can probably scrape by something. I don't know. And it's super flex, so yeah, you scrape by as long as they have the same bye weeks. Running back, Brees and Cam. Like I said earlier, a couple guys I like this year. Um, Brees, I think is going to be borderline like a bell cow running back, not quite, because Braylon Allen is good enough that he's going to demand some work. Cam Scattaboo won't be bell cow, but I mean he's going to get all the rushing work and he's going to get receiving work too. They showed you last year that they like him more than Tyron Tracy, so I guess it is a new coaching staff though, isn't it? But regardless, I still think Scattaboo's probably the guy there. And then receiver, I mean that's where this team really shines. Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, Makai Lemon, Malik Washington, Romeo Dobbs. Like you've got your two, like a couple of a couple of yeah, your first and second round pick receiver, and that's they're both those level of guys and should be. And Olave should at 2.9. You could even argue he fell to you right there because you could argue Olave is a late first round pick, maybe an early second this year on him, and I think with good reason too. It should be a good year for him. If that Makai Lemon, as long as AJ Brown leaves, I mean he should pretty well slot into a like some kind of a wide receiver two role there in Philly, so that should be nice and a good offense. Romeo Dobbs, if AJ Brown comes, he should be the number two in a receiving room that does have a lot of mouths to feed, but the quarterback's so good. Like, what are you gonna do? Um, and if he doesn't come, if something happens, and whoa, pause. If you no homo, if AJ Brown does not show up in New England, hey yo, um, then Romeo Dobbs, like he turned like like a real steal right there. Like yeah, he could. I don't want to say wide receiver one status, but definitely wide receiver two status in a scenario like that. I think, anyways. And there's a tight end for this team. You got Sam Laporta, Kenyon Sadiq, and that's it. Um, yeah, I don't think you're gonna need anyone other than Sam Laporta. So Kenyon Sadiq is your backup. I think you could have just picked any backup you want. You'd have probably been all right. So Kenyon Sadiq's a fine backup. Not who I would have picked, but should be a fine option that you don't ever need. I don't know if I said anything about the rest of your running backs because I know I said in the draft I love the Rashad White pick, and I was kind of jealous that I did not see him. I think that's insane value 11-4 on a guy that, in my opinion, by the end of the year is going to be carrying probably on the field for like 70% of the snaps offensively. So I think that's nice. Tajay Spears, I know they just drafted another running back there, but who is it? Singleton? Yeah. From what I gather, it sounds like he's a bit of a project. And I mean, Spears is flashed. And if something happens with Pollard, he could he could be a league winner, honestly. Dylan Sampson, I guess. Oh, was I must have been mistaken on him earlier and must have thought there was another guy still in Cleveland. Maybe I was thinking of Jerome Ford. 'Cause I think I said he's not even the second guy on his team, but he definitely is. Looking at this, because he's definitely ahead of Rocket Sanders and Michael Burton and whoever that last guy is. Um, yeah, he is so gadgety that he's involved, even if Samson or even if Judkins is going to be healthy. So he could have some weeks even then and still be productive. Uh, and if he does get hurt, then wow, you're looking at a really nice starter. Um, this team's pretty good. I'm gonna have to go, I think 8. I think 8. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go 8. So up next is Reed. Does not know ball, so this is probably gonna be a 1. Probably gonna be the worst team in the league. Okay, just kidding, Reed. Um, if you listen to this, that is. If not, then maybe not. Uh, his team is Justin Herbert, Devon Achane, Omarion Hampton, Omarion Hampton, Puka Nakua, Lad McConkey, Rondé Gadsden, Jordan Addison, Ramondre Stevenson, Brock Purdy, Parker Washington, Casey Concepcion, Jalen Coker, AJ Barner, Jalen McMillan, and Nicholas Singleton. Um, hmm. So let's look at the quarterbacks. It's Brock and Herbert. Has he got one on the bench? No. Okay. Well, that is a good 1-2 punch. I don't know that you need a QB3 right there. Um. Yeah. Yeah. That's not bad. Running back, you got HN. Me and Lucas kind of mentioned how we feel about HN this year. Gross. Hampton. I mean, he should be. I feel weird about drafting him. I don't know why. I just get bad vibes from it. But like in theory and on paper, he should be a good pick. So I'm not gonna dock him for it. Uh, and then his running backs after that, Ramondre, kind of gross in my opinion. Gonna be in a timeshare. Um, I don't really think I don't really think his receiving upside that Brady was talking about is something you really want to count on a ton. Uh, he had more than 3 catches in a game only twice last year, and a lot of games with like one or no catches. And most of it's like two or three. So I mean, he's involved, but not like in a way that I'm like, ooh, I want to go buy him because of his passing upside, passing work upside. Um, and plus he's like 28 now, right? Yeah, gross. Um, and then who's got on there? Yeah, that's it for running back. I guess other than Nicholas Singleton, I just kind of said and I have about him. Receiver, Puka and Ladd, nice. Jordan Addison, nice at wide receiver 3. Parker Washington, he got in the 10th round, the end of the 10th round. That's good value. Casey Concepcion, like I said earlier, like I mean, I think he's good, but I think he'll be good, but I don't know about the situation. Like everything I've heard about the kid from all the people that I listen to. So like I said earlier, I don't, follow college ball. I'd start finding out who these guys are come draft time. Like he's got everything he needs to do it, but just like the team, like the quarterback, I don't know. I don't know. And I do think I've remember hearing about drop issues with him, so I don't know. Uh Jalen Coker, McMillan, uh pretty solid. Um I would just say a solid team. I don't know if I'd say if I think it's good. I don't think it's bad though. Um this team really just screams Reed though to me, like full of his guys. Like Hampton is a Reed guy, Addison is a Reed guy, Ladd is a Reed guy, Casey Concepcion. It's still early, but I'm pretty sure he's becoming a Reed guy. McMillan's been a Reed guy. Yeah, this team screams Reed. Um, which is probably why I'm gonna give it a 5. I love you, buddy, but yeah, no, I don't. I'm not a fan. That's all right. Maybe one day you'll learn ball too. He probably wouldn't even hear this. Okay, so next up would be me. I had the 6th spot in the draft. My team is Patrick Mahomes, James Cook, Chase Brown, T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, Trey McBride, Quinshawn Judkins, Wandale Robinson, Kyler Murray, Malik Willis, Kenneth Gainwell, Jaden Higgins, Gunnar Helm, Keyshawn Booty, and Zachariah Branch. They spelled his name right, Zachariah. Great way to spell that. That's the homie. Okay, fellow Zachariah. Um, I mean, I normally feel good about the drafts. I always feel weird about coming on here and reading my drafts because I always like my drafts, and I always want to come here and be like, "Oh, fucking 10 out of 10." But I know this isn't a 10 out of 10. I would say the other best ball drafts I've done this year were probably better than this. I would guess. I still, I still don't hate this team. So looking at quarterback, Pat Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Malik Willis. I mean, if you listen to the podcast this far, you kind of heard the quarterback debacle and how that unfolded for me. I'm not feeling great about it. I'm not feeling great about the quarterback situation. I'm feeling not great. I mean, I, I love Kyler, but I mean, technically, that's not a lock still. I mean, Malik Willis is in kind of an ass situation. Mahomes might miss the first few weeks. So that situation's not good. Running back, James Cook, James Brown, Quinshawn, uh, Kenneth Gainwell. I feel pretty good about that group actually. I like that group. James and Chase Brown, I feel like both guys that could give me like RB1 value at minimum, RB2 value each week. So I feel pretty good about that. Um, Quinshawn, I think, is going to be like a nice mid to low end RB2, so that should be nice. Kenneth Gainwell, I think like a mid RB3. I think probably going to exceed his ADP. Probably be pretty involved in their main passing downs guy, I think. Um, yeah, I'm pretty excited about Kenneth Gainwell this year. Uh, then receiver, we're looking at T. Higgins, Devontae Smith, Wandale Robinson, Jaden Higgins, and Keyshawn Boutte, and Zachariah Branch. Uh, hmm, it's, I like the first two. I think I'm gonna get wide receiver one and wide receiver two value out of them each week. It could vary which one I get it from, but that doesn't really matter. Wandale, I, I've never really been a big Wandale guy, and I don't think that changes in Tennessee. But I do suppose he could PPR his way to a bunch of points, especially he is still with Dable, so that's good. Um, Dable's probably going to scheme it up to make Wandale the guy. Probably have Calvin Ridley be the sacrificial X, and oh gosh, who did they just draft? Um, what's it? Carnell Tate, that's his name. Just kind of be your actual X, maybe. uh, yeah, I don't know. And then you still got some other guys mixing into there. I don't know about the Titans, which I also took Gunnar Helm as my backup tight end to Trey McBride. I mean, you always feel good with Trey McBride as your tight end, but he is losing to your Petsing, so I don't know. There might be a bit of a step back there, and it's not like the quarterback situation got better in the offseason. Um, and they didn't add anything to the other weapons there, so it's not like they took any weight off his shoulders. It's still going to be defense is kind of honing in on him. Uh, yeah, I mean this is definitely not my best draft. Not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna have to go. I'm gonna go like 5.5, I think. Yeah. Next up, we got Levy, friend of Lucas. Let's see what we got cooking here. Team, scroll over to him. Levy Browns. He took Caleb Williams, Trevion Henderson, David Montgomery, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, Michael Wilson, DK Metcalf, Matthew Stafford. You son of a bitch. That was you that did that. J.K. Dobbins, George Kittle, Khalil Shakir. Also, you son of a bitch for that. Xavier Worthy, Matthew Golden, and Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell is still getting drafted. It's 2026 and Keaton Mitchell's still getting drafted. I guess he's only 24. I guess this is only his third year in the league, but yeah, I don't know. That feels crazy to me. I would not think he would still be on anyone's fantasy radar. But looking at the rest of the team, all right, well, let's break it down by position. Okay, so we got Caleb and Matthew Stafford at quarterback. No quarterback three, but I think that's okay. You don't necessarily need that. You'll get by with those guys, especially. I think those guys both prime for some really good seasons. So quarterback's fine. Running back Henderson, Montgomery, uh, Dobbins, Gross, and that's it. Oh, and then Mitchell, of course. I don't like that running back room at all. That feels pretty bad, actually. Receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Malik Neighbors, DK Metcalf, I should say. Khalil Shakir, Xavier Worthy, Matthew Golden. I like that group. I do like that group a lot, actually. Um, Tight end, Brock Bowers. That says all it needs to is you have a backup tight end, Kittle. I think that's actually like a perfect best ball tight end build right there. Kittle and Bowers. I don't. Yeah, I think you probably nailed tight end right there. Pause. Um, and then receiver's nice. I like receiver too. I don't know about the running backs though. The running backs kind of really gross me out. Quarterback good. Quarterback is good. I think this team, Michael Wilson there at the flex spot, okay. Michael Wilson too. Gosh. I think this is like I think this is a 6-5. I think that's a 6-5. Above average, but not quite good, I would say, in my opinion. Better than my draft, that's for sure. Diet Coke for life. That is who is up next. Okay, so her team is Joe Burrow, Christian McCaffrey, DeAndre Swift, Nico Collins, Chris Godwin, Colston Loveland, Tucker Kraft, Rico Dowdle, Jackson Dart, Bo Nix, Josh Downs, Isaiah Likely, Jonah Coleman, Omar Cooper, and Jawan Johnson. This one definitely feels like they're a ball nowhere, no doubt. Um, I feel like I don't know. Maybe that's just because I see Josh Downs and Omar Cooper, and I really like those guys. Yeah, but then I see Chris Godwin, and I don't like Chris Godwin. I don't think ball knowers draft Chris Godwin. I'm looking at you, Reed. Uh, so quarterbacks, Burrow, Dart, Nix. That's elite. That's an elite combo in my opinion. Um, an elite trio, I should say. So I like that. I like that a lot. Running back, McCaffrey, Swift, nice. Rico Dowdle, nice. Um, Jonah Coleman as like your fourth running back. Yeah, I like that as a late round chance too. I like that. So I like the running back room too. Wide receiver, Nico, Chris Godwin, gross. Um, Josh Downs, Omar Cooper. Mm, that feels a little thin. Nico feels like the only like super relevant wide receiver there. Josh Downs might be like a good wide receiver three. Chris Godwin. I'm not even trying to be a hater, but I think he probably is like a low end three, high end four, maybe worse this year. So I don't really know about the receiving room. I don't like that. Tight end, you're set. Colston Loveland, Tucker Kraft, and Jawan Johnson. I don't think you should have drafted Johnson, but that was round 15, and yeah. Hmm, this team as a whole, though, I would down. I mean, if you swap Downs out with Godwin, I like the initial starting group. Um, and then the bench would feel okay. Oh gosh, I think I'm gonna go 6. Well, no, because quarterback and tight end is too good, and running back is pretty damn solid. I don't know if I think it's better than the last team. No, I give the last team 6.5. Is it better than the last team? Yeah, it might be a little better than last team. We'll go 6.5. I think was it better than Brady's? We might go 6-7 actually. Well, let's look at Brady's. Let's compare it to Brady's because he had 6-8. I don't know. I think I might like Brady's team a little bit more right there. Let me look at this again. Yeah, I'm gonna go 6-7 with yours. I think I like this one just a little bit less than Brady's team. All right, so team 9. This one all across the place. Guy left as soon as the draft started. Then someone joined, auto drafted, and then left. I don't know what's going on. A lot of weird stuff going on in the sleeper app. Honestly, I don't think it went that bad. And that's the second one of these drafts we've done in a row where there's been an all auto draft. I don't think it's gone completely terrible for whoever takes over that team, if anyone does. So it's Josh Allen, Kyron Williams, Bashal Tootin, AJ Brown, Zay Flowers, Dallas Goddard, RJ Harvey, Jalen Warren, Lamar Jackson, Kyle Monangai, Tony Pollard, Mark Andrews, Tyreek Hill, Jawan Jennings, and Debo Samuel. Um, yeah, I think it's a pretty good team. Like obviously, quarterback speaks for itself. He's got the 1-2 punch, not a great 1-2 punch. He's got the 1-2 punch with Allen and Lamar. Um, and then you move to running back. You got Kyron, you got Tootin, which neither one are the most exciting, but they feel like probably pretty safe RB2s. Kyron maybe more of a high-end RB2, Tootin maybe a low-end RB2, high-end 3, if he's the one to really like kind of take the bulk share of the work there this year, for Tootin that is. Um, then you got Jalen Warren. I think he's gonna be nice, especially to start the year. That might fade out a little bit with Rico Dowdle being around, as the year goes on. But I think at least to start the year, Jalen Warren's still probably a pretty active part of that Steelers offense. So that should be nice. Tony Pollard should be a good bench piece. That's all the running backs, wide receiver. AJ Brown, Zay Flowers, that's a nice combo. Um, on your bench, because you don't have any at the flex, it would be Tyreek Hill, Juwan Jennings, and Deebo Samuel. Now, none of those guys are currently signed to an NFL roster, which is not good, obviously, but you kind of want your fantasy players signed to NFL rosters generally, if you're trying to win anyways. Um, and even if you're trying to tank, you should still be starting guys on NFL rosters. Um, so really, it kind of need people, but you feel like all of these guys are going to end up somewhere, and I think they're all guys that if they land in the right spot, and there's a few spots available, I think to each of them that they could go and land and be significant fantasy contributors, maybe like low end wide receiver twos, high end threes, maybe even mid twos for a guy like Tyreek Hill, or even Jennings or Samuel if they go to the right spot. I think could maybe do something like that. So I think for this team, gosh, I do like this team a lot. Um, kind of want to go 8. Let me compare that to FL, because that was the other team around there. Ooh, I think I like FL's bench more, but might like the starters on Team 9 more. Oh, this is a close one. I got my boy Dallas Goedert at tight end. My dude is eternal. Mark Andrews, yeah, a couple of eternal dudes just balling it up at tight end. I love it. Um, gosh, this is a tough one. Gosh, but looking at that again, I think I'm gonna have to go like 7-8 or 7-9 just below, just because looking back at FL again, the Chase Olave Laporta, just that run right there is so fucking nice. And then when you add that with like Jaden Daniels, that's really hard to top. And like I said during the draft, like I think Rashad White could be like league winning value, especially that late. So I don't think I can quite top that, but it's really fucking close. I'm gonna go like 7-9 because it's right under that. So Lucas would be next, trying to dethrone FL Wellington here. All right, my man Lucas drafted Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, Jadarian Price, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Drake London, Jake Ferguson, Terry McLaurin, Jordan Tyson, Jared Goff, Michael Pittman, Chris Rodriguez, Tyrone Tracy, Zach Charbonnet, Denzel Boston, and Jake Tonjes. Now, I say it every time I draft with Lucas. The dude just always drafts great. Yeah, this is a great draft. Looking at quarterback, Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff. That's his only two, but I would maybe like a quarterback injury prone, and they don't have a lot of like bad weeks. So I guess you should be all right without a quarterback 3, I think. Yeah, I'm looking at Jared Goff last year. He had one single digit game last year. Other than that, he's mostly about 20 points per game. Jalen Hurts, I mean, that's pretty much a lock at 20 points per game or more. Um, so I like that combo. Running back Derrick Henry, Jadarian Price, uh, Chris Rodriguez, Tyrone Tracy, Zach Charbonnet. It just feels like a pretty safe group and a pretty smart group actually. The Zach Charbonnet pick was him accidentally fat fingering it, but I think that works out great for him since he does have Price, so he can just get the best out of Price hopefully to start the year, and then once Charbonnet comes back, whoever's got the job, he's got that covered. And that's a good role to have, a good spot to have that Seattle running back spot, the lead back there. So that's nice. Derrick Henry, I mean, gosh, the dude is what, 33, 32? He's 32, but like Lucas said, he just keeps doing it. So what are you gonna do? Bet against the guy? No. I mean, he's still in an ideal offense for him to be successful in. Now there are offensive line concerns, like what Lucas said, but it's still Derrick Henry, and there's still not a ton of reason to doubt him. Um, he slowed down a little bit last year, but still, as the production should still be there from a fantasy perspective. And then after that, Tyrone Tracy, he should have some spike weeks. Might not be super relevant. We'll see. I think he's a good bench stash option there. Wide receiver, St. Brown, Drake London should be a good combo right there. Terry McLaurin, that's a Lucas guy for sure. Jordan Tyson, I like that. Should complement Chris Olave nice and get a lot of good looks because of Chris Olave. Uh, Michael Pittman, Zach, or not Zach, sorry, Denzel Boston. Feels like a pretty good receiver bench too. Um, Tons of depth there as well. So I like that. And then tight end, like you said, he kind of punted it, but for punting it, I think he did pretty well. Jake Ferguson's pretty solid tight end. Probably give him a good floor each week, and then maybe Jake Tonjes balls out to start the year and getting some good tight end play. Jake Tonjes played good last year when he was on the field and playing a lot. Like he was, I don't have the exact number on it, but I'm looking at his game log here, and when he was playing 70% of the snaps or more, he's double digits in all games but two, and I'd guess his average is probably about 14 points a game, 13, 14 points a game. So, I don't know about you, but I'll take that out of my tight end too all the fucking time. That's great. That's awesome. So, as always, a great draft by Lucas. Hmm. The rookies give me pause for concern, but I really like that he ended up with Charbonnet and Jadarian Price paired. I'm a sucker for pairing running backs like that. Um, Terry McLaurin should be fucking really good this year. His receiving room should be really good. Should be really, really good. I gotta go 7 points. No. Yeah, I'm gonna go 7-5. I'm gonna go 7-5. All right. And second to last, we have Anarchismet. I'm not sure. I almost feel like that might be another damn former in one of my damn fantasy leagues. Um, no, that's great. We love being international. This team is Tyler Shook, Kenneth Walker, Bucky Irving, Justin Jefferson, Emeka Egbuka, Tyler Warren, DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers, Dalton Kincaid, Quentin Johnston, Tyler Algier, Jaden Reed, Ty Simpson, Rashid Shaheed, and Troy Franklin. Okay, so looking at the quarterbacks, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, Tyler Shook is this team's only quarterback. Yeah, that is gross. I like Tyler Shook a lot for this year, but yikes, as your only quarterback. Running back, Kenneth Walker, Bucky Irving. Me and Lucas both said what we think about Bucky earlier. And then after that, Tyler Algier, and that's it. Uh, that doesn't feel good. Justin Jefferson, Ibuka, DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers, Quentin Johnston, Jaden Reed, Shaheed, and Troy Franklin. I like the receiving room. I like that a lot, actually. That's a pretty good group. I wouldn't say a lot. I just like that. I like that. I don't like it a lot, but I like it. Um, Tight end, Tyler Warren. Only Tyler Warren. Oh, okay, he took Dalton Kincaid too. Uh, I mean, I was gonna say the same thing I said after the last best ball draft. I'm a little skeptical on Tyler Warren. Like, we don't know if Daniel Jones is starting the year, and go look at what Tyler Warren did without Daniel Jones last year. Or even once Daniel Jones just started playing hurt. After that, it was already kind of starting to go down. Um, and even if he does come back, is he the same guy? Is he going to continue to target Warren like that? I don't know. So I'm a little skeptical on Tyler Warren this year. Dalton Kincaid, I don't, whatever, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think. That's all I had to say about Dalton Kincaid there. So yeah, God, I do not like this team like at all. I don't really like anything about it. Um, oh, I take that back. He does have Ty Simpson, so we just have two quarterbacks, but only one of them's going to play this year. Um, this is definitely the worst team so far. So I'm going to go 2-5. Okay, so J Dog, last one. And we can rank these. I'm going on a fucking 3.5 hour pod. Holy shit. Or is it 2.5? Whatever. 2.5. Regardless. Okay. J Dog. J Dog. All right. His team is Jordan Love, Jonathan Taylor, Ashton Genty, Rasheed Rice, Garrett Wilson, Travis Kelsey, Jamison Williams, Mike Evans, Christian Watson, Aaron Jones, CJ Stroud, Jordan Mason, Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt, Geno Smith, and Dalton Schultz with his 15th pick. Okay, so running back, or excuse me, quarterbacks is Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, and Geno Smith. Uh, once again, gross. That's fucking gross. I'm sorry. I guess Jordan Love and Stroud isn't the worst, but that's just not really where I want to hedge my bets on. I'd rather either one of. I'd like Jordan Love to be my quarterback two, and I'd like C.J. Stroud to be my like quarterback three. Geno Smith, I would like to not be a part of fantasy football. I'd be playing in New York, especially with all of my Jets shares and other leagues. Um, yeah, I'm not big on that quarterback room. Running backs, Jonathan Taylor, Ashton Genty, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt. Ugh, I'm gonna say it again. Gross. Uh, gross. Jonathan Taylor, that's all right, but he's probably going to see a shit ton of stacked boxes to start the year. That's not good. Ashton Genty, it should be a little better than last year, so I guess that's not really gross. And that's RB2, so that's all right. At RB2, that's fine. Yeah, that's okay. I don't mind that. That's okay. But then Aaron Jones, I know they didn't bring anyone. Oh yeah, they did. They did draft someone too. I don't think it was anyone super important. Damon Claiborne. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't want to touch Aaron Jones. Um, Jordan Mason, I guess he's just got the Vikings room locked up in theory, unless it is Claiborne. Claiborne. And JCM, that just all feels gross. I don't see really see. Obviously, you see the upside with Taylor and Genty, but I don't see the upside beyond that. And I don't like Jonathan Taylor for this year. And Ashton Genty, I just feel like he's going to be like a solid RB2 this year. I don't think it's going to be super flashy. It's probably going to be kind of boring. And next year, his ADP might be kind of low, too low because of it. Like he probably should be like a good pick next year, but I could see him having a serviceable year, and people will be like, "Oh, he's a bust," but really he wasn't a bust. You just overdrafted him, and then next year he kind of gets is kind of a steal because of that. I mean, you see patterns like that happen all the time. Um, and then at receiver for this team, there's Rasheed Rice, Garrett Wilson, Mike Evans, Christian Watson, and that is it. Um, oh, Jamison Williams is there too. So that's pretty good. That's I can't really hate on it. I don't know what to think about Rasheed Rice for this year. And Garrett Wilson is catching passes from Geno Smith, of course. Um, and they did bring in competition. I don't think it's any competition that's gonna take away his 10 targets a game. Jamison Williams, I just never really fully bought in on him. Mike Evans, I like him a lot in San Francisco this year. And Christian Watson, he should be pretty nice in Green Bay. So I do overall like this receiving room. Um, maybe not in the order he drafted him, but yeah, I do like the group. Um, tight end, he's got Travis Kelsey and Dalton Schultz. That's a strategy. I don't know. I don't dislike this team, but it doesn't get me very excited, and I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's a winner either. Um, and I don't really like the bench either. Aaron Jones, Stroud, Mason, JCM, Geno Smith, Dalton Schultz. Like that just feels kind of backup-ish. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna have to probably go probably like 5, 5 points. I'm gonna go like, all right. I'm gonna use my team as the Barks. My team was 5.5. Do I think this is better than my team? Let me look. No, not a chance. Okay, so not a chance. Um, is it better than Reed's? I gave him a 5, so is it somewhere in between there? I want to give him a fair rank. I want to be fair with all this. No, I gotta take Reed's team too, and I gave Reed a 5. So I'm probably gonna have to. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna go 5. I'm gonna match this with Reed's team. So we're gonna go 5. So we can go ahead and go in order. Let me. Okay, so the top ranked one looks like is FL Wellington. Kimberly, thanks for hanging out. I guess it all paid off. At 8, and then after that, it is I think Lucas at 7.5. Yep, Lucas. And then after this is where it kind of starts to get close. So we got Diet Coke at 6.7 right there. Oh no, excuse me. Team 9 was 7.9, so they're ahead of Lucas. So that's Team 9. Team 9. Okay, and then Diet Coke, and then Levy, and is that correct? And then Cream de la Creme, and Brady should have been ahead of Diet Coke. And then I think it would be me after that. 5.5. Then J Dog, Zach, J Dog. And then it would be Thunder Lips at 3.5. And Hannah. That would be all 12, I do believe. Let's count that up and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I am forgetting one, of course. Sorry, I went to public school. You can only expect so much out of me. Luckily, it was just Reed, and so that is an easy one to fix. He will go right below me. And so the final ranking, which I will have posted in the league chat as well, um, by my standard again, always before I give out these official, unofficial, whatever you want to call it, ratings. I do want to say I'm not an expert, just a dude with a microphone who apparently loves to talk for 2.5 hours plus about best ball leagues. Um, so number one is already forgot your freaking name on here. FL Wellington. And then team 9. Team 3 would be, or the third place would be Lucas. Fourth place is Brady. Fifth place is Diet Coke for life. Sixth place would be Levy. Seventh place would be Cream de la Creme. I would be eighth place, right? Or was that seventh place? I'm so tired. I don't even know. And then after me was Reed, and then I typed his name in wrong here, so I don't even know who that's supposed to be at this point. Oh, it's J Dog. It's J Dog. Okay, of course, J Dog. Everybody knows J Dog. We got J Dog there at 10th, and then Thunder Lips and Anna rounding it out at the bottom. Good luck to everyone. Thank you for drafting with us. Make sure you check out the links in the show notes. Shop with us if you feel so inclined. Support the show, all that good shit. Hit the subscribe button if you listen via podcast. It's super helpful. Helps us make a few cents. It doesn't make a few cents. It just helps me cover the cost of doing the show. So if you subscribe, that would be super sick and awesome on whatever podcast app you listen on. Oop, there's a comment here that I did not see. Where did it go? Okay, I know. Now I see that that's you and your tweets. Yeah, I hope you didn't try to join and weren't unable. That would be really unfortunate because I did not see that until just now, and I sent that invite to you. So if not, I mean, we will have other drafts coming in the future, and you can definitely hop on and chat with us then. Like I said, definitely doing another one this month. I mean, I thought less rounds, but I guess we're gonna go even deeper. I guess that's what the people want, so I guess that's what we'll do. But I am gonna tap out of here and go get some water. My throat is very dry, as is the rest of my mouth. Um, yeah, subscribe, do all that good shit. Promo, blah 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 blah. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. And see you guys.
Shitbag lizard people.
My bro's QB2 is Aiden O'Connell.
Fuck Sean Payton.
Actually, when you add up the pick value, yeah, when you crunch numbers, who the fuck's Jonathan